kicking things off with the classic everything was peaceful backstory montage. Some poor shepherd is just minding his business when the sky starts glitching out. A giant freaking eyeball straight out of Mordor pops in to say hello, shattering reality. The narrator drops the lore. A demon king invaded and unleashed his monster army. But wait, humanity wasn't going down without a fight. Someone had to step up. And here they are, the divine knights, God's chosen warriors, looking all shiny. These guys got juiced up with holy powers and started pushing the monsters back. But the demons left behind this nasty magical pollution called miasma everywhere. This miasma stuff either straight up kills you, or it gets a whole lot weirder. And by weirder, I mean it turns you into a hissing, crystal-covered plant monster. And if you don't get turned into a crystal plant, you just become a demon instead. Fantastic. This new demon is already on a rampage, taking some poor schmuck's head clean off. The head of that plant monster thing hits the dirt as someone walks into the scene. A new guy with purple hair shows up, looking all heroic after everyone's already dead. We get an intro for this guy Kieran, a vice commander, and he looks ready to murder someone. And yeah, too late is an understatement. The entire village got absolutely bodied. One of his boys runs up screaming about a red moon because things weren't bad enough. We get the lore drop. Red moon equals a powerful demon is about to spawn. One knight wants to be a hero and check the building, while the other has a working brain. The whole area gets bathed in this creepy red moonlight, and things are about to go down. Kieran peeks inside the building and is absolutely floored by what he sees. Instead of some big bad demon, there's just a tiny human crawling around the wreckage. And it's a freaking baby, just chilling in the middle of a demon-spawning ground. We hit the 15-year time skip, and now we're getting a history lesson on how peaceful everything is. Turns out we're in an orphanage where they're force-feeding kids propaganda about the divine knights. Some random brown-haired kid starts picking a fight with a familiar-looking white-haired boy. And it's our boy Laika, the demon baby, all grown up and pissed about his small lunch portion. The brown-haired kid is just staring at him like he's speaking another language. Laika immediately backs down and says it's nothing, looking all suspicious. But my man is absolutely seething in the background while everyone else is feasting. Laika's just sitting there, radiating main character energy while being completely isolated from the other kids. Our boy Laika is sharpening his spoon, probably plotting murder over that tiny meal portion. We get the tragic backstory. His village got wrecked by demons and he's the only one who made it out. He's explaining how everyone thinks he's a monster because a baby surviving that mess is super sus. So in other words, he's the designated punching bag for the entire orphanage. And here's the proof. Some asshole turned his food into literal garbage soup. This bald staff member is straight up bullying him, asking if this trash is enough food for a monster. And of course, all the other orphans whose families got killed by demons are giving him the death stare. The bald dude calls him over while some new kid is being brought in, probably for more training. This new kid is having a complete meltdown, and he's about to get thrown into this lovely, welcoming environment. Baldy explains the new kid's parents got offed by a monster, and you can see where this is going. And there it is. He immediately blames Laika, hitting him with the "your kind did it" line. This psycho then gets the whole orphanage to gang up on Laika, demanding he apologize. Laika tries to defend himself, but the new kid is already in the background, having a full-blown meltdown. The new kid starts screaming for his mom back, calling Laika a monster right to his face. And Baldy just straight up folds Laika with a punch for absolutely no reason. This trash bag leans over him, still demanding an apology after literally assaulting him. Our boy is just on the floor, looking completely defeated by this whole messed up situation. He's forced to apologize while being held down, getting publicly humiliated in front of everyone. And to top it all off, Laika's left to clean the entire empty hall by himself. Laika's been taking this abuse for over a decade, basically trapped in this hellhole orphanage. But there's one way out, a selection test at age 15 to join the Divine Knights. My boy is counting down the days to freedom while doing his Cinderella chores. Laika is absolutely done with this place, going full rage mode and vowing to escape. His grand plan is to become a Divine Knight, which is just beautifully ironic. The big day finally arrives and the selection ceremony is officially kicking off. All the 15-year-old orphans are lined up in a massive cathedral, ready for their one shot. Laika steps forward with the rest of them, looking determined to finally leave this dump. And of course, Baldy the trash bag shows up to whisper some discouraging bullshit in his ear. The test is a magic chalice. If the Gatorade inside turns blue, your knight career is over. The lore continues. If the chalice glows gold, you drink it, make a vow, and get your powers. But the catch is you have to offer up what's most important to you. Sounds totally safe. All the orphans are listening, knowing this is their one and only shot to escape their crappy lives. The guy running the show gives them a final warning, because this is some serious business. And the first kid steps up, ready to make his big life-changing vow. The other kids are just watching, probably trying to figure out what they're willing to sacrifice. This buff kid starts screaming his vow, promising to never run from a monster again. We get the flashback. He watched a giant snake monster eat his sister. Well, that'll do it. He goes full rage mode, vowing to kill every last one of them for what they did. The angel statue starts glowing, basically giving a thumbs up to his revenge quest. The buff kid's revenge vow gets the divine green light, and the whole cathedral lights up. The officiant hits him with the fine print. His wish is granted, but now he can never run away. He doesn't even hesitate, just chugs the holy Gatorade to seal the deal. And boom, instant Super Saiyan transformation, complete with a golden aura. My man is feeling the divine steroids kick in and is absolutely loving it. Laika and the other orphans are just staring, completely floored by the instant glow-up. The next kid vows to abandon his family at the orphanage, but the chalice rejects his ass. Another kid steps up, makes a vow that actually works, and gets the golden light of approval. Now everyone's getting hyped, lining up to scream their vows and get juiced up. We get a montage of kids successfully vowing their way into the divine nights. Laika is watching all these glow-ups, getting absolutely hyped for his own turn. Our boy is dead set on becoming a knight, no matter what it takes to escape. The officiant calls for the next person, and it's finally Laika's time to shine. He steps up to the chalice, and it starts glowing a weird purple color. That can't be good. Laika starts his big hero vow about protecting people, trying to sound all noble, but he immediately trails off, realizing he doesn't actually give a damn about these people. My man is having a full-on brain freeze, trying to figure out what he even has to offer. All he wants is to leave this hellhole, but that's not a valid sacrifice for the holy Gatorade. He starts breaking down, realizing he literally has nothing of value to his name. The dude is desperately trying to find anything inside himself to offer up just to pass the test. Laika starts screaming as some weird blue eye stares him down from the void. He snaps out of it for a second, completely confused about what's happening to him. My man feels something getting ripped out of him, and it's definitely not his tonsils. He's back in the room, hunched over like he just went 10 rounds with a ghost. The holy Gatorade has now turned into a bubbling purple sludge, and Laika is horrified. The other orphans are just watching this whole demonic meltdown, completely freaked out. Even the officiant is shook, saying he's never seen such a messed up, ominous color before. The old dude panics and just straight up cancels the ceremony, telling everyone to get out. But Laika gets up, refusing to take the L and telling him the test isn't over yet. Then we get a random flash of the buff kid getting absolutely sliced up. What the hell is going on? And now the vision switches to Laika getting his own arm lopped off. This test is just a straight-up horror movie. My boy is on the ground bleeding out while the officiant just watches, completely useless as always. Baldy the trash bag tells the officiant he knew this would happen, confirming he set this whole thing up. This absolute piece of garbage leans over Laika and hits him with the "you're a monster" line for the millionth time. Laika is just looking up, completely terrified, as Baldy questions what the hell he even is. The newly powered-up orphans, including the buff kid, decide they're the new execution squad and are ready to kill Laika. The whole gang of fresh-faced knights is about to jump one kid who hasn't even finished his test. The buff kid is leading the lynch mob, screaming at everyone to kill the monster disguised as a human. The officiant finally finds his voice, screaming that their holy powers aren't meant for ganging up on other kids. Then Laika just erupts in a wave of green energy, shattering the entire floor and sending everyone flying. Laika and the officiant are both completely clueless as the real party starts to form right behind them. And surprise, a giant-ass demon just spawned in the middle of the holy cathedral. The demon immediately starts redecorating the place by smashing the floor and sending kids flying. The officiant finally states the obvious, screaming that it's a demon while the buff kid gets a front row seat. This new demon is just admiring its hand like it's surprised it even has one. The officiant finally grows a spine and tells everyone to run, calling for the actual knights to do his job. And his big hero moment is immediately cut short by a giant shadow looming over him. The demon just straight up punts the officiant across the room like a football. Now that the trash is taken out, the demon goes full feral mode, ready to wreck everyone else. We cut back to Laika, still missing an arm from that vision, about to get flattened by falling debris. The new demon gets its glamour shot, and yeah, it's definitely not here to make friends. The buff kid who just tried to kill Laika is now shielding him from falling rocks. Talk about a change of heart. We get a flashback to his vow's fine print. He literally can't run away from monsters anymore. That's some serious buyer's remorse. The reality of that vow hits him as he's frozen stiff in front of the demon. He looks like he's about to shit his pants. He's screaming for help as the demon's claw comes down, and Laika gets a front row seat to the carnage. Some other kid with spiky hair tries to rally the troops, screaming that this is why they got their powers. Spiky hair actually charges in, throwing a glowing haymaker at the giant demon. He chose violence, and it was a bad choice. Laika is just watching this whole disaster unfold, probably wondering what the hell is even happening anymore. The demon effortlessly catches the punch and immediately decapitates the kid. Well, that hero career was short-lived. Then it starts shish kebabbing the other new knights with some kind of vine attack. This is an absolute massacre. Laika's just watching the demon use the other kids as party decorations, wondering what his new powers are for. The demon goes full feral, and Laika is just frozen, staring death right in its glowing red eyes. And its tongue is a freaking xenomorph, ready to give Laika a very aggressive, toothy French kiss. My boy is just staring into the abyss, and the abyss is a snake tongue about to eat him. He's having the classic, "Is this it?" moment after all that talk about finally escaping this hellhole. Suddenly he's back at the altar, still missing an arm, staring at that cursed purple drink from before. The sacred chalice is still serving up that demonic grape Kool-Aid that got his test canceled. Laika's on the ground, realizing that failing the test is a way worse fate than whatever this sludge does. He's having a full-on breakdown, but you can see the desperation turning into some galaxy brain idea. Laika grabs the chalice, basically saying, "Fuck it, weeball," and prepares to chug the mystery juice. Laika chugs the demonic Kool-Aid, screaming that he'll take any deal over dying in this shithole. The mystery juice hits him like a truck, and my man is definitely not feeling okay. Back to reality, the demon's snake tongue is literally inches from turning Laika into a snack. Suddenly, a giant demonic leg stomps down, turning the whole area into a crater. A hand bursts out of a massive purple energy explosion, looking like someone just powered up. The demon that was just on a rampage is now getting its head crushed by some new purple tentacle. And the tentacle belongs to some new long-haired dude who just appeared out of nowhere. This new guy has glowing purple eyes and looks like he just woke up on the wrong side of the void. And surprise, it's Laika, who just got a full-blown demonic glow-up from that cursed drink. My boy is just as confused as we are, wondering what the hell just happened to him. Laika's having a full-on identity crisis, questioning if this new edgy, long-haired form is really him. My boy is describing his new powers as feeling cold, which is some top-tier emo logic. And now he's feeling the demonic steroids kick in, with power just overflowing from him. The original demon is absolutely pissed that some new guy just stole its spotlight and is ready to throw hands. Laika effortlessly dodges the attack, showing off that new demonic agility upgrade he just downloaded. The demon goes full tentacle mode, but Laika is just standing there completely unfazed by the display. My man starts running up the demon's arm like it's a damn escalator, total disrespect. He's charging up some kind of demonic falcon punch, ready to end this dude's whole career. The demon's final form is just a jumbled mess of tentacles and bad breath, and Laika is not impressed. Laika's about to deliver a magic-infused knuckle sandwich right to the demon's ugly mug. Laika goes full-on rage mode, screaming as he unleashes a massive explosion of demonic energy. He lands the punch and the whole damn cathedral lights up with his new magical nuke. The demon gets a face full of that blast and is absolutely not having a good time. The monster gets completely obliterated, and Laika just watches his own handiwork, still crying. After that one-punch man moment, my boy lands back on the ground looking completely spent. And just like that, the edgy long hair form is gone, and he's back to being regular old Laika. The power-up hangover hits hard, and our boy just collapses in the middle of the wreckage. Laika is struggling to get up while the buff kid, the one who tried to kill him, just stares. The buff kid is having a complete mental breakdown, screaming about how this is impossible. Laika looks at his hand, realizing his arm is back, completely confused about the whole ordeal. Laika is back to his normal self and is completely lost, like he just woke up from the wildest dream ever. And just when things couldn't get weirder, a freaking Final Fantasy sword drops out of the sky. The giant sword then shrinks down into a regular-sized one because of course it does. Some new voice starts talking about cleaning up the demon corpse before it pollutes the whole city. And here's the cavalry, a red-haired knight making a dramatic entrance after all the work is done. She immediately zeroes in on Laika, asking if he's the one who soloed the big bad. We get the full reveal, and this red-haired captain is radiating some serious I'm-in-charge energy. Laika is absolutely starstruck, realizing the actual divine knights have finally shown up. Red hair is giving him a look that's half impressed and half, "What the hell are you?" She's straight up praising him for the kill, completely unaware he did it with forbidden demon juice. We get a proper intro for the red-haired Commander Arthur, and she looks like she could step on me. Laika is having a full-on fanboy moment over her giant sword, completely forgetting he just did way crazier shit. The rest of her squad finally shows up, and they look like they just walked off a JRPG cover. This new blue-haired musclehead is complaining that she left them in the dust. My man is built like a truck. Commander Arthur just roasts her own team for being too slow, and Laika is just taking it all in. Our boy is realizing this isn't just any knight, this is the freaking commander of the whole operation. The gears in Laika's head start turning, realizing this is his one shot at getting recognized. And there it is, his one-track mind is screaming that this is his ticket out of the orphanage from hell. Laika just starts sprinting at her, and Commander Arthur is looking at him like, "Who let this kid in here?" My boy is so desperate he just starts screaming that he wants to be a knight. Smooth. Real smooth. Laika is still screaming his pitch, telling the commander he's always looked up to the knights. But the buff kid who tried to kill him is now screaming for the knights to execute Laika. The audacity on this guy. Commander Arthur calls out the buff kid's hypocrisy as he tries to snitch about Laika's past. Red Hair and Musclehead exchange a look, realizing this whole situation is way more complicated than it seems. The buff kid keeps running his mouth, explaining Laika's vowless transformation and calling him a monster. Laika is trying to deny everything, but he's panicking as his one chance slips away. Commander Arthur, completely over this dude's whining, just casually flicks her finger in his direction. And that one flick sends the buff kid flying across the room like he just got hit by a freight train. The buff kid eats dirt, completely taken out by a single finger flick. Talk about getting humbled. Red Hair shuts him down completely, reminding him that Laika just saved his ass and she's not hearing any slander. The buff kid who was just talking mad shit is now a crying bloody mess on the floor. Laika is just staring, completely speechless after watching Red Hair put that snitch in his place. Commander Arthur completely ignores the snitch and gets right to the point, asking Laika about this no-vow business. Laika tries to lie his way out of it, claiming the demon conveniently showed up right before he could make his vow. My boy is pleading his case, arguing that since he drank from the chalice, his powers have to be legit. Red Hair isn't buying his BS for a second, laying down the law that you can't get powers without a vow. She gets right in his face, demanding to know what the hell he actually offered to get that power up. She hits him with the real question. Who or what did he actually make a deal with? Our boy is completely cornered, stammering like an idiot because he has no good answer for that. Commander Arthur just stares him down with a poker face, letting him sweat it out. Red Hair grabs his face, telling him she's interested and wants a live demo of his power. She sets up a one-on-one, telling Laika she'd rather see his power than hear about it. My boy is having a full-blown panic attack because he has no idea how to turn on his demon mode. He tries to explain himself, flailing around like an idiot while Red Hair just stares, completely unimpressed. Commander Arthur is officially done with the excuses and decides to speed things up. And by speed things up, she means she just grabs Laika and straight up yeets him. My man gets launched into the sky like a freaking bottle rocket by the commander. Laika is now 1,000 feet in the air, getting a great view of the city before he becomes a crater. She's screaming at him from the ground to use his power while he's plummeting to his death. And she's just smiling and waving, cheerfully telling him he's about to become a pancake. Musclehead is calling his own commander a demon for this, and honestly, he's not wrong. Laika is screaming his lungs out, finally realizing that the commander is a certified lunatic. My man is just windmilling his arms, still screaming like he's on the world's worst roller coaster. The reality of gravity hits him, and he knows he has to use that demon power or he's a goner. And just to make things spicier, a giant flying whale thing decides to join the party. Our boy is just falling, sees the giant sky whale, and is completely baffled by this new problem. Musclehead casually drops that it's a sky-eater bird, and Laika realizes he's about to be eaten. And just like that, the giant sky whale gulps Laika down like a flying piece of popcorn. Musclehead actually tries to do something, but Commander Red Hair stops him from saving the kid. Red Hair reveals her galaxy brain plan. Letting him get eaten is the perfect way to test his power. Musclehead is calling his commander a demon for her training methods, and honestly, he's not wrong. We get a close-up of this weird flying potato thing that's just been vibing in the background. Laika wakes up inside the sky whale's stomach, looking way too happy for someone about to be digested. And yeah, the stomach acid is just a bone broth of its previous victims. Not a good sign. The reality finally hits Laika that he's about to become another skeleton in the soup if he doesn't act fast. My man is trying to force his demon powers to activate before he gets melted down into nothing. But instead of a power-up, a giant stomach worm pops out to say hello. This is just not his day. And it's not just one. The whole damn stomach lining is made of these nightmare fuel worms. One of the worms goes for the kill shot, ready to bite our boy's head clean off. This triggers a PTSD flashback to Baldy the trash bag doing the exact same thing back at the orphanage. The PTSD flashback to Baldy's abuse is enough to make Laika start crying all over again. Surrounded by stomach worms, my boy finally admits that the orphanage and the Knights both suck. The giant worm goes for the kill, but Laika is just staring it down completely over this whole situation. He decides that as bad as his life has been, dying in a whale's stomach is an even bigger L. And that's the trigger. My man goes full demon mode, screaming his lungs out. The power-up looks painful as hell, but it's better than becoming whale food. He starts charging up a massive energy blast, ready to give this thing some serious indigestion. The whole stomach turns into a freaking light show as he unleashes the attack from the inside. Back on the ground, Commander Redhair and Musclehead are just watching the sky like it's a fireworks show. Musclehead calls her out for being reckless, but she just says she wants to see what Laika's made of. Commander Redhair is already calculating if this kid's insane power is an asset or a future headache. The sky whale gets absolutely julienned from the inside, screaming its last gurgle, and Laika bursts out of the monster's corpse like a demonic firework covered in guts and glory. His edgy form immediately fades, and now he's just a normal kid plummeting back to Earth. Redhair and Musclehead are just watching him fall, probably taking bets on whether he'll survive. He smashes into the ground, creating a crater like a damn meteor, and the Knights finally approach. Musclehead runs up to the impact zone, asking if Laika is okay after that 1,000-foot drop. Laika is completely wiped out, getting caught by Musclehead before he can eat more dirt. My man Musclehead is shocked that the kid is completely unharmed after that insane stunt. He's already calling Laika Vice Commander level, completely floored by the kid's solo performance. We flash back to the OG purple-haired Kieran, who apparently was the only one who didn't want to unalive baby Laika. Even back then, he looked like he was having second thoughts about adopting a potential demon lord. And now we get an intro for Musclehead, who's also named Kieran. Okay, this is gonna get confusing. Musclehead Kieran drops the cold take that it would have been better if Laika just died back then. Damn, dude. Back in the present, Commander Redhair is talking to some new scrawny-looking knight who just rolled up. She announces they're officially taking Laika in, basically to keep his walking nuke powers on a leash. The new guy is just standing there, probably wondering how he got roped into babysitting a demon kid. Scrawny Knight argues they're too desperate for fighters to be picky, even if one is a walking biohazard. Then we get the ominous humanity is screwed lore drop, with the sky literally shattering to make the point. We cut to some new spiky-haired dude facing down some thugs, wondering if this kid is with the Knights. This new spiky-haired dude looks like he's seen some shit, and he's not impressed by any of it. Some local thugs decide to play the Our Territory card, clearly picking the wrong guy to mess with. Spiky Hair grabs his sword, basically telling them he's about to end their whole crew's career. The whole gang of goons jumps him at once, because that's a great idea against a potential main character. We get a flash of light as Spiky Hair apparently moves faster than the speed of plot. The lead thug is completely baffled, wondering where the hell his target just teleported to. Turns out he's already behind them, telling someone off-screen that the coast is clear. The thugs finally spot him, realizing he just blitzed past their entire squad without breaking a sweat. And of course, he was protecting some kids, telling them to stay back while he handles the trash. We get a close-up as his eye glows red, confirming this dude is definitely not a normal guy. The lead thug's face is just a perfect picture of I have made a terrible, life-altering mistake. Spiky Hair is just standing there while the goons are still trying to figure out how he teleported. One of the thugs decides a crossbow is the answer and fires a bolt at the new guy. And he's gone again, leaving these idiots screaming and looking for him like it's a magic show. They finally spot him and he's just chilling, letting them have their little panic attack. We get a close-up on the bolt and it's glowing, so this is some kind of magic attack. The thug is screaming for him to die as the magic bolt flies right at Spiky Hair's face. My man just catches the exploding arrow with his bare hand like it's a damn fly. The whole forest lights up from the explosion, and Spiky Hair is right in the middle of it. The thugs are just staring, completely dumbfounded that their big move got no-selled so casually. Spiky Hair's chest starts glowing with some weird pink energy, and it's not a good sign for the thugs. He takes one step, and the whole area is already crackling with his power. My man goes full Super Saiyan Rosé, grows his hair out, and says he's about to end this. He finishes the thought with a cold, quickly, and you just know these thugs are about to get deleted. The thugs finally realize they picked a fight with a main character and start calling him a monster. And yeah, He just blitzes through the entire squad, turning them into a modern art installation of body parts. Spiky Hair just stands there looking cool as hell after wiping the floor with the entire gang. But he senses something's off because, of course, the fight isn't that easy. He screams, "Don't move," at someone, and his face is all business. And there it is. The last surviving thug is holding one of the kids hostage. Classic scumbag move. The last thug standing tries to pull a power move, threatening the kid to keep Spiky Hair at bay. This dude is absolutely shitting himself, realizing he's cornered a rabid animal and is about to die. And he's not bluffing either. That blade is right on the kid's throat, ready to end him. Spiky Hair realizes there's another kid, which complicates his whole blitz and kill strategy. And yup, the two kids are hiding, watching this whole nightmare play out from behind a tree. Spiky Hair decides to test the waters and teleports again, closing the distance in a flash. The thug panics and actually cuts the kid, drawing blood. This just got way too real. My man just stops and stares, probably calculating his next move now that the hostage is hurt. He powers down his hand, saying he gets it, like he's finally understood the thug's desperation. Spiky Hair puts his hands up, trying to de-escalate and telling the guy to let the kids go. The last thug standing calls the kid merchandise, confirming he's the lowest form of scumbag. He tries to justify being a slaver, saying the kids were just gonna be monster food anyway. This psycho actually argues that selling kids to perverts is a better fate for them. The thug's monologue gets cut short as he realizes he's about to get a face full of karma. Spiky Hair's hand starts glowing, and he's about to give this dude a magical high five to the face. The thug starts screaming about the heat as his face gets a taste of that pink energy. Spiky Hair just stands back and watches as the thug gets absolutely cooked from the inside out. My man hits him with the cold, "I warned you" line while the dude is literally melting. And just like that, the thug's headless body hits the dirt. Well, that de-escalated quickly. Spiky Hair is surprised by his own move, realizing he just unlocked some kind of energy whip. Spiky Hair uses his magic hand to heal the kid, who's looking at him like he's the devil. My man realizes his whole flaming eye pink vein aesthetic is probably not helping him look trustworthy. The kid finally breaks down crying after the whole getting held hostage ordeal. Can't blame him. Spiky Hair is just standing over him, probably having no idea how to handle a crying child. He powers down his edgy form and tries for a gentle smile, which is a solid effort. And he actually sits down to comfort the kid, proving he's not just a murder machine. My man wakes up to find one of the kids he saved sleeping on him and is completely confused. The kid calls him Mister, and he just face plants, completely short-circuiting from the wholesomeness. We cut to what looks like the Divine Knight's main headquarters, looking all fancy and important. And we get a shot of some new blue-haired dude with a ponytail, looking all stoic and important. Ponytail dude spots the kids and is just like, "Oh, you're here." Not exactly a warm welcome. He immediately backpedals, realizing this isn't a normal field trip, and starts to freak out a little. The kids are literally dragging Spiky Hair's unconscious body into the main hall like a sack of potatoes. And Spiky Hair is completely out of it, drooling and everything. So much for that cool guy entrance. Ponytail is just watching this disaster, trying to process how this guy is even a knight. The kids explain that Spiky Hair brought them to safety, and then immediately face-planted from exhaustion. Ponytail just slings Spiky Hair over his shoulder, roasting him for making the kids he saved do all the work. My man is still drooling while Ponytail is already docking his pay or whatever knights get. Ponytail just sighs and starts carrying him into the main building, probably to file a complaint. The whole welcome committee is here, and Ponytail is basically asking what to do with this new liability. We get an intro for the second branch chief, Fran, who's already simping over Spiky Hair's sleeping face. Her deputy, Kenneth, is the complete opposite, calling him an idiot and giving him a failing grade. Then we got the fourth branch chief, Grift, who's pissed that Spiky Hair got tired from a simple cleanup job. And this dude with the braids, Jack, is just disappointed the so-called monster assassin is just some tired kid. Commander Redhair shuts them all down from her throne, telling them to chill out on the rookie. She's got that classic all according to plan smile, saying they'll just keep an eye on him for now. The whole council is looking down, agreeing they need to see more before making a final call on the new guy. The next morning, we're back at the fancy-ass Knight HQ and things are looking bright. And holy shit, they're laying out a feast that looks like it's straight out of a Ghibli movie. Our boy Laika is about to short-circuit, drooling over more food than he's seen in his entire life. Laika is absolutely losing his mind, realizing this king-sized feast is actually for him. My man goes full goblin mode, inhaling food like he hasn't eaten in 15 years, because he hasn't. He's so used to eating trash, he immediately starts choking on actual food. A nice maid shows up with some water, looking way too wholesome for this messed up world. She tells him to slow down, that no one's gonna steal his food here. That's a new one for him. Our boy is blushing, completely short-circuiting from this basic act of human kindness. The maid is serving other people too, and Laika is just soaking in this non-abusive environment. He flashes back to the literal garbage soup he was forced to eat back at the orphanage. And then he remembers getting folded by Baldy the trash bag just for breathing too loud. Laika is genuinely smiling, realizing he's finally escaped that hellhole and even got a sick new uniform. Just as Laika's enjoying his first real meal, some new dude shows up to ruin the vibe. This new guy with the emo haircut walks up and calls out Laika mid-slurp. My man is giving Laika the most judgmental stare I've ever seen. He's not impressed. Laika confirms his identity, probably wondering if this guy is here to steal his food. Emo Knight gets right in his face and Laika's just trying not to spit out his noodles. Our boy is completely baffled, still chewing, wondering what this dude's problem is. The new guy just scoffs and turns away like he's already seen enough. He calls Laika an idiot, and our boy is absolutely not having that slander. Emo Knight tells him to follow, saying he'll figure out if Laika is useful or just trash. Laika finally snaps, demanding to know who the hell this guy thinks he is. Laika is still yelling, and the emo dude finally introduces himself as Kenneth. And he's not just some random hater, he's a freaking vice commander. This guy's got rank. Laika is still processing while Emo Knight Kenneth just tells him to shut up and follow. Real welcoming committee here. Then he turns to the nice maid and tells her to get her ass in gear too. And plot twist, the wholesome maid is actually a branch commander named Fran. What is this place? Laika's brain just blue-screened while Commander Fran is telling her deputy to chill out. Our boy is still reeling from the fact that he was just served by a high-ranking commander. So now he's stuck walking with the cheerful Commander Fran and the perpetually pissed-off Emo Knight Kenneth. Laika is having a full-on existential crisis, completely lost in this new high-stakes environment. Commander Fran pats his head like a puppy, telling him they've got a big day ahead. Commander Fran gives the safety-first speech with a smile that's way too pure for this world. Laika is just trying to process this level of wholesomeness, and his brain is clearly lagging. The maid commander is just vibing, completely oblivious to the existential crisis she's causing Laika. Laika is still convinced she's just a maid, while Emo Knight Kenneth just broods in the background. Commander Fran decides it's time for a mission briefing, complete with a cutesy pose. Emo Knight Kenneth explains they're on a minor cleanup job because some dudes got jumped by monsters. And surprise, this cleanup job is actually a pop quiz to see if Laika is worth keeping around. Commander Fran drops the smile and reveals this is his final exam to not get kicked out. The reality hits Laika that his new cushy life is on the line and he is not taking it well. My boy starts spiraling, realizing he could lose the first good thing he's ever had. Commander Fran hits Laika with some positive reinforcement, and my boy's brain is about to short-circuit. She's heard all about his skills from Red Hair, which is a nice way of saying you can turn into a nuke. Laika is just processing the words high hopes, a concept completely foreign to his abused ass. And just like that, one compliment turns my boy from a traumatized orphan into a hyped-up shonen protagonist. Laika's already talking mad shit, saying he'll wipe out the monsters no problem. Confidence is a hell of a drug. Emo Knight Kenneth immediately humbles him by bringing up that time he got carried home by children. Ouch. Kenneth lays down the ultimatum. If he or the maid commander thinks Laika is useless, he's getting the boot. And he finishes the roast by saying Laika's idiot face pretty much guarantees he's getting kicked out. Laika's confidence just evaporates, and he goes full-on rage mode from the emotional whiplash. Our boy is screaming at Emo Knight, demanding to know why this dude is acting so superior when they're the same age. Maid Commander Fran jumps in to break up the fight, telling her two angry children to play nice. She explains Emo Knight's vow literally forces him to be an asshole. He's a contractually obligated hater. Laika hears covenant and immediately chills out, realizing there's a reason for all the slander. And then his brain reboots as he realizes what brutally honest actually implies. He asks if Kenneth really thinks he's an idiot, and Emo Knight just confirms it with zero hesitation. We cut to the mission area and the vibe immediately gets serious. Emo Knight gets right to the point, calling Laika out for not having a covenant like a real knight. Laika gets all defensive, basically hitting him with the, yeah, and what about it? Emo Knight starts dropping lore, explaining that a covenant is the price you pay for power. And he lays down the golden rule, bigger sacrifice equals bigger power. This is not looking good for our boy. Laika tries to play it cool, yelling that he already knows this, but he's clearly shook. And Emo Knight Kenneth just pulls out a freaking gun and shoves it in his face. My man gets completely blitzed, caught in a chokehold with a gun to his head. Emo Knight starts dropping some grim statistics about how shitty this job actually is. He reveals a third of all recruits die in 6 months, and Laika's face is pure, "I've made a huge mistake." Our boy is just wondering how Kenneth even got behind him, completely outclassed and caught lacking. Laika is realizing this escape is just a different kind of hellhole than the one he left. Emo Knight calls him out for having no resolve, basically asking what the hell he's even doing here. My man is literally staring down the barrel, getting the most aggressive HR orientation ever. Laika is sweating buckets, finally understanding that he is completely out of his league. Maid Commander Fran finally tells Emo Knight to chill out, but Laika is already in his own head. Laika admits he doesn't have a covenant, and Emo Knight looks genuinely surprised by the honesty. But our boy starts powering up with that pink energy, telling Emo Knight he just hasn't gotten around to it yet. My man just grabs the gun with his bare, glowing hand, starting his big shonen speech. He's got a crazy grin, basically saying a soft bed and good food is all the motivation he needs. Our boy is going full feral mode, saying he doesn't give a damn about rules if it means escaping hell. He's dead set on joining the Knights, and he's not letting some emo kid with a gun stop him. My man goes full power-up mode, vowing to cling to this new life with everything he's got. Emo Knight is completely shook, realizing his magic gun is getting overpowered by this kid's raw will. Kenneth is actually struggling to hold his ground as Laika's power pushes back against his own. Maid Commander Fran finally steps in, telling her 2 angry children to knock it off. She hits them with a cutesy wink, saying she loves the motivation, but it's time to work. And just like that, she whips out a giant-ass spear, getting serious for the first time. The whole squad is glowing, ready for action as they head deeper into the spooky forest. And the welcoming committee is a whole sea of glowing red eyes staring them down. Laika and Emo Knight are both shook, realizing this cleanup job is a full-blown monster party. Maid Commander is completely unfazed, telling them to get ready to fight a whole damn army. A giant snake monster immediately tries to eat them, and the test is officially underway. Our boy Laika isn't even scared. He's just pissed off and ready to throw hands. And he immediately fires a massive energy blast right down the monster's throat. No hesitation. Emo Knight saves Laika's ass at the last second, identifying the big bad as an actual demon. The demon's big brain plan was to use the small fries as bait, and Emo Knight is stating the obvious. That one big blast Laika fired was apparently his only shot, and now he's completely gassed. Our boy is already running on fumes, realizing he used up all his juice on that one attack. And of course, the demon has a giant freaking tongue ready to give them a very aggressive hug. The tongue snags both Laika and Emo Knight, and Maid Commander just got yeeted out of the fight. Laika is struggling like hell, screaming at the demon while getting squeezed by its nasty tongue. They watch as Maid Commander gets launched into the stratosphere like a damn bottle rocket. Laika is absolutely losing his shit, thinking their commander just got one-shotted by a tongue. But Maid Commander is just flying back down with a smile like she just went on a fun little ride. Maid Commander is literally scolding the demon for its bad manners while it's trying to kill them. And she just casually throws her spear with a smile that says, "Time to take out the trash." The spear goes full magical girl mode, glowing pink as it zeroes in on the demon. It pierces right through the demon's tongue, finally freeing Laika and Emo Knight. The demon is absolutely screaming after getting its tongue kebabbed by a flying spear. Maid Commander just watches as the severed tongue, with the boys still attached, gets yeeted into the sky. Her spear then transforms into a knife, because of course her weapon is a shapeshifter. She's already in the air, ready to turn the rest of this demon into a fine red mist. And she unleashes a flurry of slashes, turning the whole area into a freaking light show. The demon gets turned into confetti while Laika and Emo Knight are just falling in the background. Laika and Emo Knight finally land, still getting aggressively cuddled by the demon's severed tongue. Maid Commander lands without a single hair out of place, stepping right next to her 2 useless rookies. She's literally thanking the demon tongue for babysitting the 2 boys. The disrespect is unreal. She admits she let herself get yeeted just to bait the demon out. This woman is a menace. Laika and Emo Knight are just processing the fact that their commander used them as live bait. Maid Commander starts shipping them, and they both immediately start screaming in protest. The 2 rivals are now blushing and pissed, united by their shared trauma and embarrassment. The whole squad just stands around the giant severed tongue like it's a weird fleshy trophy. Laika is shirtless now, giving Maid Commander a look like he's finally seeing her for the psycho she is. And she just gives him that wholesome smile, completely unfazed by the chaos she just orchestrated. Laika is just replaying the fight, realizing Maid Commander turned that demon into confetti without even trying. Our boy is having a full-on, she's on another level moment while Maid Commander just looks back at him. And now she's praying over the demon's corpse like she's at a damn funeral. She drops the lore bomb that the demon was once human, and this is just her post-fight ritual. And yeah, apparently regular people just turn into monsters if they get too much magic exposure. Laika just accepts this grim new fact, probably wondering what the hell he signed up for. Emo Knight Kenneth finally chimes in, saying this whole situation is sketchy as hell. He points out that a demon this strong has no business being this close to the capital city. Even Maid Commander agrees that the whole mission feels off, which is never a good sign. Then she spots some weird glowing rock, and her face says, "Oh, here we go again." Maid Commander, who was just styling on a demon, is now screaming for them to run. That's a bad sign. The whole squad gets hit with some kind of pressure wave, struggling just to stay on their feet. And now they're all frozen solid, completely paralyzed by whatever this new power is. Some new mystery voice starts monologuing about how disappointed he is in his creation. A giant-ass foot just slams down, confirming the new guy is definitely not here to talk. The whole crew is just staring up, realizing they went from the frying pan into the damn fire. And there he is, some new hooded menace radiating final boss energy all over the place. Maid Commander actually recognizes this dude, and she looks like she's just seen a ghost. The hooded menace is pissed they killed his child, confirming he sent that demon after them. He's looking at the demon's corpse, calling humans ugly while being a literal shadow monster. The irony. Maid Commander is pissed, demanding to know who this new psycho is and what he means by created. The hooded menace just wags his finger at her like she's a damn toddler. And with one move, he just flattens the entire squad with some insane gravity magic. Even Maid Commander is getting absolutely folded, screaming as she's pinned to the ground. Laika's brain is just short-circuiting, realizing how completely and utterly screwed they are. Our boy sees that even the OP Maid Commander is getting completely washed by this dude. Emo Knight Kenneth, ever the tryhard, still manages to point his gun at the final boss. The hooded menace just flicks him, calling him a naughty child as he shatters his arm. And just like that, Emo Knight's gun and arm are just a cloud of spooky red smoke. The new villain starts monologuing about remaking them, looking right at Laika. Emo Knight's arm is now just a pile of bloody hamburger meat. This new villain is not playing around. The dude's arm and gun are literally just floating chunks of gore now. That's a hell of a way to get disarmed. Laika is just watching this horror show, pinned to the ground and completely useless. Our boy is just lying there, wondering what the hell is even happening as the villain's dark energy swirls around. Laika is having a full-on system crash, his face screaming, "What fresh hell is this?" And just when you thought it couldn't get worse, some new purple demon foot steps into the ring. The hooded menace just spawned a new monster with an exposed brain and glowing nipple eyes. What the actual fuck? This psycho grabs Maid Commander by the face, and even she's completely powerless against him. He's trying to plug her into his new big brain monster like she's a damn USB drive. Maid Commander is getting choked out while the monster's brain tentacle closes in. This is not the vibe. The brain monster's mouth is just rows of shark teeth. This villain's got a thing for fucked up creature design. Maid Commander is still getting manhandled, completely helpless as this psycho holds her by the face. Laika is just watching, his brain completely blue screening as he sees his new boss about to get deleted. Our boy is realizing the OP commander who just soloed a demon is about to become monster food. He flashes back to her wholesome, safety-first speech, which aged like milk in about 5 minutes. And then he remembers her saying she had high hopes for him, which is the perfect shonen power-up fuel. Laika screams for him to stop, unleashing a massive explosion of that familiar pink demonic energy. The hooded menace is actually surprised, finally looking away from Maid Commander to see what's happening. And there it is. Laika goes full Super Saiyan demon mode, screaming his lungs out as the power erupts. My boy's got the flaming skull eyes and a grin that says he's about to commit several war crimes. Laika is still screaming, completely lost in the sauce as his new power-up takes over. My boy is charging up a freaking Rasengan ready to yeet it at the new final boss. He goes for the world's most aggressive Falcon Punch, putting all his demonic juice into one shot. The blast hits the brain monster and Laika just nuked his own commander to save her. Maid Commander is free, looking completely shocked that the rookie just pulled that off. The power-up is already taking its toll, and Laika is clutching his head like he's got a migraine from hell. My man is crying from the pain of his own power, with a literal flame coming out of his eye. And just like that, the edgy form is gone, and he's back to being regular, shirtless Laika. The hooded menace just stands there, completely unimpressed by the kid's one-shot wonder attack. And our boy immediately faceplants, completely out of juice after that one big move. The hooded menace is just staring, and his hoe is the villain equivalent of, "Oh, that's cute." This psycho is actually impressed, calling Laika amazing for moving in his gravity magic. He's analyzing Laika's leftover energy, trying to figure out the kid's whole deal. The villain figures out Laika's power isn't from around here, calling it a flame from another world. He's officially intrigued and decides to get a closer look at his new favorite science project. The hooded menace grabs Laika's face, saying, "Pardon me," like he's not about to violate his soul. Laika is absolutely terrified as this dude starts doing some kind of freaky eye scan. The villain's magic turns Laika's eye into a freaking Sharingan from hell to read his history. And he figures it out, saying Laika made a deal with an outer god. He's actually jealous. We flash back to what looks like Laika getting jumped, probably the moment he made that desperate deal. The outer god is genuinely intrigued by what Laika offered, and that creepy smile is not a good sign. And whatever Laika offered was so wild it even made a cosmic entity go, "Wait, what?" Back in the present, the hooded menace gets a surprise energy blast right through the damn chest. And it's Spiky Hair, who just showed up to punch a hole clean through the guy who was washing everyone. Spiky Hair is pissed, telling the villain he's been running his mouth for way too long. And then he just rips the final boss in half like a damn piece of paper. The hooded menace is just staring, completely shocked that he got folded this easily. And just like that, the big bad is down for the count, completely humiliated. Spiky Hair just casually leaps away, leaving the villain's corpse like it's just another Tuesday. And just like Laika, he immediately faceplants from exhaustion. These power-ups have a hell of a cooldown. The whole squad is just scattered across the dirt, completely gassed after getting their asses handed to them. Maid Commander is staring at Spiky Hair's unconscious body, asking if he really just ended the final boss. She's got that "what the hell just happened" look, completely baffled by this new guy's sudden appearance. The hooded menace's corpse is just lying there, looking very dead after getting turned into a paper doll. Maid Commander, not taking any chances, goes for the overkill and slashes the body just to be sure. And plot twist, the villain's body was just a weird mummy puppet. The real dude was never even here. The whole crew realizes they just got styled on by a guy who was basically playing a video game. Emo Knight calls out Spiky Hair's name, Ryuka, while he's still passed out in a breakdancing pose. Maid Commander confirms that Ryuka just fainted after his one-hit wonder, leaving them to clean up the mess. She's giving the unconscious Ryuka a death stare, probably trying to figure out who this new problem child is. Maid Commander is staring at the puppet, realizing that Psycho was literally manufacturing demons. She's flashing back to how easily he folded them, wondering how a human could be that OP. The realization is hitting her hard, and she's having a full-on panic attack. And there's the name drop. Ruler Tempest, the Magic Master. So the villain is a known entity. Then we cut to some random peaceful village with a kid yelling, "Tempest Ashi." The whiplash is real. A little witch kid shows up, yelling at someone for being asleep on the job. And there's her target. Some new white-haired dude just passed out on a couch in the middle of the day. My man is so deep in his nap, he's using a book as a sleep mask, a true professional. The little witch kid starts roasting him for being a lazy bum, and he just mumbles an apology. He finally sits up, revealing a long-ass braid and a serious case of, "I'd rather be sleeping." This new white-haired dude, Tempest, says he was having a good dream. Yeah, the one where he folded our whole squad. The little witch kid roasts him for being a clumsy adult, but he's hyped about finding something good. My man is so lazy he's using magic to pour his own tea. What a flex. Tempest is just vibing with his tea, completely unbothered that his monster puppet got deleted. He looks at that same shattered sky and says something fun is about to happen. This dude is definitely the final boss. We cut back to the squad, and Emo Knight Kenneth is giving the passed-out Spiky Hair a piggyback ride. Emo Knight is actually telling Ryuka to hang in there. Look at him, pretending to have emotions. Spiky Hair is completely knocked out after his one big move. So much for the cool entrance. We get a flashback of Ryuka laughing like a psycho while facing down the hooded menace. And he was literally T-posing on the villain before he one-shot him. The absolute disrespect is legendary. We're back in the flashback, and even the outer god is shook by whatever the hell Laika offered up. The next day at Night HQ, and you just know some serious meetings are about to go down. The whole damn council is gathered around a shirtless, passed-out Laika, debating his whole deal with a god situation. My boy is literally on an operating table while the big bosses decide if he gets to live or not. This new old dude, Grift, is already complaining that Laika's contract breaks all their precious rules. But Braid Boy Jack is arguing that Laika's walking nuke powers might actually be useful. No shit, Sherlock. They're flashing back to Laika's big boom, the one that saved Maid Commander's ass. Even Musclehead Kieran is defending Laika, saying the kid's a proven asset in a fight. But this new Scarface dude is arguing that Laika is too much of a risk, especially with the Magic Master involved. And we get an intro for Scarface, Vice Commander Gavin, who's basically calling for Laika's head. Maid Commander Fran is giving her testimony, looking dead serious after that beatdown. The whole council is waiting for Maid Commander Fran to drop her take on the new problem child. Commander Redhair is just listening, trying to decide if this kid is an asset or a liability. Scarface Gavin puts Maid Commander on the spot, asking for the eyewitness report on Laika. Maid Commander is looking shook, reliving how badly they got folded by that hooded psycho. She admits that she and Emo Knight were useless, and Laika was the only one who could move. Fran lays it out plain and simple. If Laika hadn't been there, they'd all be dead. But she's clenching her fist, because there's always a however with these walking nukes. She brings up the fact that when Laika goes demon mode, he's a completely unhinged psycho. And she's about to drop the real problem. This kid has no idea how to control his own power. Maid Commander Fran explains Laika's big weakness. His power-up has a one-and-done battery life. Scarface Gavin hits them with the "you call that control" argument, clearly not sold on the kid. The whole council is just staring at Laika's unconscious body like he's a science experiment. Commander Redhair is just taking it all in, looking like she's playing 4D chess with this kid's life. Some new white-haired dude breaks it down. They need to see if Laika is a knight or just a nuke. The whole squad is just listening, trying to figure out what to do with their new problem child. Commander Redhair puts Scarface Gavin on the spot, asking him what his price is to keep the kid. Scarface Gavin gets a nasty look in his eye, like he's about to suggest something terrible, and he drops it. Laika has to pass the trial of the guarded flame. That does not sound fun. Maid Commander and Musclehead are both freaking out, confirming that this trial is some serious shit. Commander Redhair makes the call, telling Braid Boy Jack to get our boy patched up for this trial. And by trial, they mean they're literally sending him to hell. No sugarcoating that one. Redhair has that smug, this is for his own good smile while telling them to heal him first. Our boy is just sleeping, completely unaware he's about to be the main event in a death match. We flash back to Laika in absolute agony, probably the moment he signed his soul away. The Outer God's voice confirms it. My man made a deal with some cosmic horror from another dimension. And yeah, that god's home dimension looks like a freaking heavy metal album cover. The god is still monologuing, saying it was shocked by what Laika offered for the power. We see a tiny, pathetic Laika in this hellscape, looking completely out of his league. The cosmic entity calls his offer disgusting and asks what the hell he is. Damn, what did he offer? Laika is having one hell of a nightmare, screaming at the voices in his head to shut up. Our boy wakes up in a fancy bed to find Emo Knight Kenneth just casually reading a book. Kenneth hits him with the classic, "So you're finally awake," looking completely unbothered. My man roasts Laika for sleeping so long, even after they used magic to heal his ass. Laika asks about the hooded menace, and Kenneth confirms the immediate threat is gone for now. And wait a damn minute, is Emo Knight actually blushing? This is not part of the hater script. Laika is completely baffled by this, and Kenneth is trying to act like nothing's happening. Emo Knight actually thanks him, admitting Laika saved them and that he was worried. Our boy's brain just completely blue screens, unable to process this sudden act of kindness. And now they're in chibi mode, with Kenneth confirming he was worried. The tsundere is strong with this one. Laika is blushing, calling out Emo Knight for being a terrible liar. The bromance is blooming. Emo Knight is still blushing, trying to play it cool, and just says, whatever. The tsundere act is strong. He drops a final thanks as he walks out, because being nice for more than 5 seconds is illegal for him. And of course, someone walks in to find Emo Knight holding a shirtless Laika in his lap. This looks bad. It's Musclehead Kieran, and he's just staring down at this incredibly awkward situation he just walked into. Musclehead Kieran gets right to business, telling Laika they've decided his future. This doesn't sound good. Laika is still on the floor with Emo Knight, asking what the hell they've decided for him. And there's the bomb drop. He has to do the trial of the guarded flame. Laika looks terrified. Even Emo Knight is freaking out, confirming this trial is some next-level bullshit. Our boy is just staring, completely lost as the reality of another deathmatch sinks in. Emo Knight is actually defending Laika, screaming at Musclehead that sending a rookie to this trial is just reckless. Musclehead Kieran reveals he's the one running this death trap of a trial. Well, this just got personal. Laika, completely missing the point, just asks if passing this thing makes him an official knight. Emo Knight explains this trial is for executive candidates and requires recommendations Laika doesn't have. He gets right in Laika's face, trying to drill it into his thick skull that he's not qualified for this. Emo Knight finally just screams that this isn't a test, it's a goddamn execution. Our boy is just standing there shirtless, finally processing that he's being set up to fail. Musclehead Kieran drops the grim stats. Few pass, and a third of the failures go completely insane. And for the rest of the failures, well, this spooky red skull pretty much spells out the alternative. Musclehead Kieran gives him the final warning. Only do this if you're ready to die. No pressure, kid. Emo Knight is still trying to argue with Musclehead Kieran, but our boy Laika has already made up his mind. Laika admits he doesn't get all the complicated politics, he's just focused on the bottom line. Our boy gets that desperate shonen grin, realizing this hellhole is the only home he has left. He goes full resolve mode, vowing to risk his life for a warm bed and a decent meal. 5 days later, Musclehead Kieran leads Laika to a cave that just screams, "Abandon all hope." Musclehead starts the briefing, explaining that this death trial comes in 2 equally terrible parts. Part 1 is simple, survive in this murder cave for 3 days, easy enough, right? Laika, already looking like he's been through a war, asks what fresh hell Part 2 is. Musclehead just cryptically says this thing, and Laika is completely baffled, and he pulls out a single candle. The final trial is apparently a goddamn seance. Musclehead tells Laika to pour his demon juice into the candle, and our boy is completely baffled. He immediately overdoes it, turning the candle into a damn flamethrower and freaking himself out. Musclehead lays down the rules. Keep this glorified birthday candle lit for 3 days straight. Our boy is just processing that his big scary trial is basically an extreme babysitting mission. And there's the catch. Musclehead reveals the candle is basically a monster dinner bell. Laika's face is just a perfect picture of, I have once again signed up for some bullshit. Musclehead hits him with a surprisingly sincere, don't die, which is not reassuring at all. And with that, the trial of the guarded flame officially kicks off. Let the suffering begin. Our boy is already deep in the murder cave, and it's giving off some serious, you're gonna die here vibes. Laika's trying to look tough, but you can tell he's just waiting for the inevitable jump scare. Laika's already choking on the magic-saturated air, realizing this cave is basically a mana hotbox. He's processing that this whole area is juiced up on magic, which explains the monster infestation. We get a flashback to Musclehead explaining the obvious. A magic-rich cave means a monster-rich buffet. Musclehead breaks down the 2 ways Laika is probably going to die in this cave. Task 1 is simple. Just survive for 3 days in this giant monster-filled death trap. No biggie. And the welcoming committee is a giant purple worm monster dropping in to say hi. This weird purple worm is just staring him down as he remembers task 2, protect the damn candle. Musclehead's voiceover reminds him that letting the candle go out is an instant fail. Laika goes on the offensive, realizing he has to fight while also making sure the candle doesn't burn out. Our boy immediately resorts to his demon-powered punch because subtlety is for people who aren't fighting for their lives. Laika goes full shonen protagonist, hitting the worm with a massive energy slash like he's trying to cut the whole cave in half. And just like that, the giant worm monster gets turned into a pile of purple calamari. That was almost too easy. Our boy immediately realizes he fucked up, and it has nothing to do with the dead monster. Yeah, his candle is burning like a damn bonfire, wasting all his precious demon juice on one small fry. A quick reminder that this candle is literally eating his power, and he just served it a 5-course meal. Laika finally gets a grip, trying to control his power output so he doesn't run out of gas on day 1. My man is literally giving himself a pep talk to not burn out his own soul. This is fine. He finally gets the flame under control, but that sigh says this is going to be a long-ass 3 days. And the rules are simple. Just survive this hellscape for 72 hours. No big deal, right? Laika immediately hears something and his face says, Round 2 is starting already? And of course, the candle attracts every single creepy crawly in the cave. The party's just getting started. This pink spiky thing is giving Laika the you look delicious stare, and it is not a good vibe. Our boy is remembering the prize. Pass this, and he's a real knight with a real bed. But Musclehead's voiceover hits him with the grim alternative if he can't pull it off. And the alternative is death. Laika is surrounded and finally realizes how fucked he is. We get a close-up of this one-eyed lizard, just one of the many monsters here to ruin his day. A little while later, and the cave floor is just a soup of monster corpses. My boy's been busy. And surprise, Musclehead is just watching the whole death trial on a magic scrying pool. Musclehead is watching with some new kid who looks absolutely horrified by this whole situation. The new kid is watching the feed, looking like he's about to throw up from the stress. The new kid watching the feed is already calling it, saying this trial is way too much for Laika. Musclehead explains this whole death trial is just to shut up some of the higher-ups in the order. And yeah, he's talking about Scarface Gavin, the dude who basically called for Laika's execution. Musclehead and the new kid are watching the feed, and Musclehead is about to drop a butt. My man Musclehead is looking at the feed with a completely different vibe, like he sees something else. He says he's got a feeling Laika will pull through, and the new kid is completely baffled. Back in the cave, Laika is playing extreme keep-away, dodging attacks while protecting his precious candle. Our boy realizes playing defense for 3 days is just a slow way to get himself killed. Laika decides to go on the offensive, and his demon eye starts glowing as he powers up the candle. And my man just turned his trial candle into a freaking flamethrower to torch the monster horde. The whole cave lights up, and my man just sent a magical flare to every monster in the area. And just like that, every creepy crawly in the cave turns its head, hearing the dinner bell. The entire monster population is now migrating towards Laika like it's Black Friday at Walmart. Our boy's big brain strategy is to max out the candle and bait every single monster at once. He's got that psycho grin, ready to solve this problem with one massive energy-draining explosion. Laika is now completely surrounded by monsters that are way bigger than him. The plan is working perfectly. My man just starts screaming, unleashing a massive wave of that pink demon energy. The blast just expands, about to turn this entire monster horde into a fine pink mist. Our boy is just standing in the middle of his own nuke, looking like a tiny god of destruction. The explosion is so huge it just vaporizes everything on screen. So much for conserving energy. Laika is just standing in the massive scorched tunnel he just carved out with his nuke. Our boy has that unhinged, how you like me now grin, completely proud of his terrible energy management. Back at HQ, the new kid is having a panic attack while Musclehead is actually looking impressed by the chaos. The new kid realizes Laika's plan is to kill everything at once and just vibe for 3 days. A bold move. Laika is just standing there shirtless and exhausted, having successfully cleared the room but maybe not the trial. Musclehead is actually smiling, respecting the absolute balls on this rookie for trying to speedrun a survival test. He admits that if this dumbass can actually pull it off, it's a legendary play. But then Musclehead's face drops as he spots something on the feed that is definitely not on the syllabus. My man slams his hand into the magic TV, realizing Laika's flare just invited a much bigger problem to the party. And yeah, some new blue energy monster is here, and Musclehead is freaking out that this thing even exists in the cave. Our boy Laika is completely gassed, realizing his big brain move might have been a big dumb move. Back at HQ, Musclehead Kieran has that he's so fucked look on his face. The new kid watching the feed is just calling Laika a bastard for being so reckless. Laika's candle is barely lit, and my man is running on fumes after that one big nuke. He's finally talking about conserving energy, a thought he should have had before nuking the whole cave. And a random laser beam just zips past his head while he's trying to catch his breath. Laika is completely baffled as the laser hits the wall behind him. The party ain't over yet. That's the face of a man who knows he just rang the dinner bell for the real boss. A giant-ass robot leg slams down, and this is definitely not one of the squishy monsters from before. And yeah, he summoned a whole-ass robot with a cyclops eye. This trial just got a DLC boss. The robot reveals its full form, a 6-armed spider bot with a sword for every occasion. Laika is just staring up at this thing, realizing his kill-everything plan had a major fucking flaw. Back at HQ, Musclehead Kieran recognizes the robot and looks absolutely furious. This was not part of the test. Musclehead drops the name Berserk, and the robot's eye glows like it's about to delete Laika from existence. The robot fires a massive laser, and Laika barely dodges. The voiceover reveals the Knights actually built this thing. Yeah, this is an official anti-monster weapon, so they're testing their new toy on their own damn rookie. Musclehead is on the phone, absolutely losing his shit at whoever is responsible for this unscheduled boss fight. And the guy on the other end is some new blonde dude in a fancy office looking way too calm. This new blonde psycho just casually admits he was testing a prototype, and Laika's cave was convenient. He hits them with the "it was just a coincidence" line, and Musclehead looks ready to commit murder. Musclehead is absolutely losing it, refusing to believe this coincidence bullshit from the guy on the phone. The blonde psycho tells him to sit his ass down and watch, because this unfair deathmatch is now part of the test. He basically says if Laika can't handle a murder bot, then he's useless trash anyway. What a dick. Musclehead is grinding his teeth so hard he could probably turn coal into diamonds. He is pissed. And the blonde psycho just hangs up, completely unbothered that he just sent a kid to his death. We cut to some fancy-ass office where someone's knocking on the door. The tonal whiplash is insane. A new maid shows up with tea, and after Commander Fran, I don't trust any maid in this series. She's serving some new dude who calls her out for being a branch head playing dress-up. Yep, called it. This new boss, let's call him Goldie, sips his tea while the maid just smiles like she knows all the secrets. She comments on Goldie's good mood, and her smile is giving off some seriously unsettling vibes. Goldie sips his tea, saying he's not in a bad mood. Yeah, because he's watching a kid get murdered. He's watching the fight on his magic mirror, calling Laika a concern he's happy to get rid of. Back in the cave, Laika is dodging laser beams like he's in a freaking Star Wars movie. Our boy barely avoids getting his head taken off, realizing this bot is on a whole other level. He's charging up the last of his demon juice, knowing this is probably his final shot. Laika throws his energy ball with everything he's got, going for the one-hit KO. He lands, looking back to see if his desperate attack actually did anything, and his face just drops, realizing his big demon blast did absolutely jack shit. The murderbot is completely unfazed, just standing there like it got hit by a Nerf dart. Our boy is just staring, his brain short-circuiting as he realizes his trump card is useless. Our boy is just staring, completely out of ideas and running on fumes. The panic is setting in, and his candle, the one thing he's supposed to protect, is flickering like it's about to die. The murderbot goes full Cuisinart on him, and the new kid watching the feed is losing his mind. Laika is just barely dodging, realizing he's completely outmatched in a straight-up fight. The robot's got a whole-ass targeting system, and Laika is just the little red blip it's about to delete. My man finally admits his demon powers are draining him faster than a phone on 1%. And he knows even if he went all out, his attacks would just bounce off this metal bastard. He's just dodging lasers, having a full-blown what the fuck am I supposed to do moment. Our boy is on the floor, scrambling for his life while this thing is just playing with its food. He's completely gassed, staring down a boss that's basically immune to his only move. He's so screwed. The murderbot's eye is glowing, probably calculating the 50 different ways it's about to end this kid's career. Laika's brain is finally working, trying to find a weak spot in this walking tank before he gets deleted. Our boy is having a staring contest with a robot, and I'm pretty sure the robot is winning. The robot is just chilling on a cliff, making Laika look like a damn action figure down there. Laika is confused why the murderbot is just vibing instead of, murdering. And the second he moves, the robot fires a laser right at his ass. So much for vibing. My man gets sent flying, barely avoiding getting turned into a charcoal briquette by that beam. Laika looks back as the robot charges up again, and the gears in his head finally start turning. He realizes this thing isn't just shooting randomly, it's reacting to his movements. Our boy plants his foot, ready to test his new theory. This is either genius or incredibly stupid. Our boy is T-posing at the murderbot, basically daring it to shoot him. This is his big brain plan. And the robot takes the bait, firing its giant fuck you laser right at him. Laika charges up 2 energy balls, one for each hand, ready to put his theory to the test. He yeets the energy balls at the robot's legs, trying to trip the big metal bastard up. The robot's legs get tangled, and it starts to fall right as its laser is still firing. And just like that, the murderbot is about to give itself a laser lobotomy. The plan actually worked. Laika's inner monologue confirms it. He just made the robot hit itself. Stop, you're playing with yourself. Our boy is already in the air, candle in hand, ready to deliver the final disrespectful blow. He's screaming his lungs out, going for the kill shot while this thing is down. No mercy. And he slams his demon-powered fist right into the robot's face for the finishing move. Talk about an overkill. The impact is just a massive explosion of pink energy as Laika's fist goes right through the metal. My man just reaches into the robot's head and grabs a handful of its main wiring, and he just rips the whole damn core out of its skull. Talk about a hard reboot. The murderbot's eye flickers out with a sad little whimper. It's officially bricked.
Our boy stands over the wreckage, candle still lit, looking like he just won a fight he had no business winning.
Back at the office, Goldie's magic TV screen cracks as he watches his expensive toy get scrapped. This psycho is so pissed he shatters his teacup just by clenching his fist. Someone's salty. Goldie just says, all right, which is villain speak for, I'm adding you to my shit list. He's staring at Laika's reflection in the monitor, and you just know he's taking this L personally. And there's the face of a man whose ego just got completely shattered by a shirtless rookie. The branch head maid is fawning over Laika's performance, but Goldie is just staring at his broken monitor. This psycho says his murderbot needs work, then immediately asks for sugar like a damn child. And the maid just dumps the entire bowl of sugar into his tiny-ass teacup. These people are not normal. Goldie just chugs the diabetic nightmare fuel while the sketchy maid smiles like this is a regular Tuesday. He dismisses her and she just plays along with the whole "I'm just a simple maid" act. Goldie is left alone, staring into his cup, probably contemplating all his bad life choices. He calls the murder bot insurance, confirming he was trying to get Laika killed from the start. This psycho is still watching the feed, promising that the cave has more bullshit in store for our boy. Goldie is giving the screen a death stare, calling Laika a brat. Yeah, he's definitely taking this personally. Back in the cave, Laika is completely gassed, just trying to catch his breath after that boss fight. Our boy is looking absolutely wrecked, just trying to keep his eyes open after that robot beatdown. He's so out of it, he's losing track of time, praying this 3-day nightmare is almost over. My man is at his absolute limit, and his candle is looking just as pathetic as he feels. And just when he's about to nod off, he spots something moving in the pile of monster guts. He's staring at the monster confetti he made, thinking he's finally starting to hallucinate from exhaustion. Nope, not a hallucination. The monster goo is literally pulling itself back together. Laika is on the floor, watching in horror as the dead monster starts crawling towards him. All the little monster bits are doing their best T-1000 impression, and it is deeply unsettling. And the monster calamari just reformed into some new, even uglier version of itself. Laika is surrounded by regenerating monsters, realizing his kill-everything plan was a terrible fucking idea. Laika finally realizes the cave's dense magic is basically a monster respawn point. You love to see it. Our boy is panicking, remembering the bell that signals the end of this 3-day nightmare. We get a flashback to Musclehead's simple rule. Keep the candle lit until the bell rings, and you live. Laika is now in full-blown retreat mode, just trying to run out the clock while protecting the flame. My man's got that look of pure, unadulterated desperation. He is not having a good time, and the entire monster population is back from the dead, staring him down like he's the main course. He's just a tiny beacon of light in a cave that's about to become a mosh pit of death. The reality sinks in. One wrong move, one tiny touch, and his only win condition is gone. The monsters are literally dogpiling him, and he's just trying to shield the candle with his own body. And there's that unhinged psycho grin again. You just know he's about to do something incredibly stupid. Our boy decides to make a mad dash for it, with the entire monster population on his six. And just in the nick of time, he spots the exit. The finish line is right there, man. But of course, he gets a monster spike right through the chest just before he can make it. My man is literally powering through getting impaled, refusing to go down like a chump. He's still crawling towards the exit, bleeding out but completely focused on the goal. Our boy is reaching for the light, just a few more feet from sweet, sweet survival. And the monster horde catches up, ready to turn him into a chew toy right at the finish line. Just as he's about to get folded, he hears a voice that is definitely not a monster. Someone screams for him to get down, and our boy is just completely baffled by the assist. A massive blue energy slash just deletes the entire monster horde. Looks like help has arrived. The blue energy slash just vaporizes the entire monster horde, turning them into a fine purple mist. Laika looks up to see Musclehead Kieran's giant armored boot right next to his face. The cavalry has arrived. Musclehead stands over him like a damn titan and just says, "Time's up. The 3 days of hell are finally over." And he just starts dragging Laika's unconscious ass out of the cave. What a way to finish a trial. Our boy finally comes to, still clutching that damn candle, asking if it's really over. He just collapses backwards, finally letting go of the tension after surviving that absolute nightmare. Musclehead catches him, and we see the gnarly wound on Laika's back. My man was running on pure spite. Musclehead looks down at the kid, confirming he made it through the bullshit trial. And he actually gives him a hug, telling him he endured. A surprisingly wholesome end to a death match. Laika is finally out cold with a little smile on his face. He passed the test, the absolute madman. Our boy Laika wakes up with the face of a man who just realized he's not dead yet. He's shirtless on a damn throne, wondering if he died and went to some weird minimalist Valhalla. Nope, it's just the ceremonial chamber, which is where they apparently put half-naked rookies. And of course, Commander Redhair is here, looking like she runs this whole damn show. She's got that smug, "I knew you'd pass my little death game" smile. I hate it here. The whole council is just standing around, staring at him like he's a new exhibit at the zoo. Commander Redhair announces this is his official welcome party for surviving the trial. She's making a whole speech about trust, which is rich coming from the people who just tried to kill him. Musclehead Kieran steps up and vows to never have a family. Okay, this ceremony is getting weirdly personal. Another knight steps forward, planting their weapon. Looks like it's time for a group therapy session. Maid Commander Fran steps up, vowing to give up food for life. That's a hell of a diet plan. Emo Knight Kenneth vows to never lie, so all that sundry shit was him being brutally honest? Wild. Old Dude Grift vows to dedicate his arm to God. We've officially entered the religious fanatic portion of the ceremony. Braid Boy Jack vows to be a virgin for life while holding a creepy doll. This is not a knighthood, it's a cult. Laika is just listening to all these insane vows, looking like he's seriously rethinking his career choices. Our boy's brain is just buffering, trying to process the sheer weirdness of his new co-workers. Scarface Gavin, the hater-in-chief, steps up and vows to never sleep. This dude is powered by pure spite. Gavin gets a close-up, looking like he's about to drop the most passive-aggressive threat of all time. And there it is. His vow is to never forgive traitors. Yeah, he's definitely talking about our boy. Laika just stares back, realizing this welcome party is just a warning from the guy who tried to get him killed. Commander Redhair finally drops her name, Arthur, and reminds everyone she's the one in charge. Commander Arthur goes full King of the Britons, holding her glowing sword up for dramatic effect. She's about to make her big vow, and our boy is just sitting there shirtless, waiting for the punchline. Laika's face is just screaming, "What the hell did I sign up for?" as this cult ceremony continues. And her vow is to renounce gender. You know, just a normal Tuesday in the Sacred Order. Commander Arthur puts our boy on the spot, calling him Ryuka and demanding he make his own insane vow. She calls this whole thing a sign of trust, which is rich after the murder cave incident. The whole council is just staring him down, waiting to see what bullshit he comes up with. Our boy is completely flustered, stammering like he's been asked to do public speaking in his underwear. And instead of a vow, he just explodes with demonic energy. Way to read the room, dumbass. And my boy just goes full-on demon mode, looking like he's about to end the whole damn ceremony. The council is completely shook, and Commander Arthur looks like she's about to regret this whole welcome party. And just like that, the power-up is gone, leaving our boy looking like he just woke from a fever dream. He finally gets his shit together, introduces himself as Ryuka, and prepares to drop his big vow. My man is sweating bullets, trying to come up with a vow that doesn't sound completely insane. And after all that build-up, he just hits them with, "I don't know." What a legendary fumble. He admits he doesn't even know what he vowed to that outer god to get this power in the first place. We flash back to that creepy-ass god who confirms Laika gave up something he doesn't even remember. But he pivots, going full shonen hero, and vowing to get strong enough to earn their trust. He's flashing back to all the L's they've taken, vowing to save everyone so they don't get folded again. Commander Arthur hits him with a classic, "With great power comes great responsibility" speech. She raises her sword, basically saying, "Your shonen protagonist speech is good enough for me." Our boy's just standing there like, so did I pass? And with a smug-ass grin, Commander Arthur officially welcomes him into the cult. Laika's face is just pure shock, realizing he actually fumbled his way into the job. And the whole damn council is actually clapping for him. Look at them, pretending to be a functional workplace. My man is just standing there shirtless, getting a standing ovation for surviving his own welcome party. He's still completely baffled that these psychos who just tried to kill him are now his co-workers. Commander Arthur just walks off, leaving our boy to figure out where the hell the locker room is. And of course, Scarface Gavin is already in the boss's ear, complaining about the new hire. Commander Arthur calls out Scarface Gavin for still being salty about the new hire. She hits him with the "you made the rules, dumbass" argument about the trial he proposed. Arthur argues that Ryuka being honest about his memory loss is a sign of trust, not weakness. Gavin is still on his hater shit, screaming that Ryuka is a liability waiting to happen. My man Gavin is just staring, and you know he's not letting this go anytime soon. Arthur drops the lore. Ryuka's power is basically a Zenkai boost that triggers when he's about to die. She's got a smug smile, basically saying she's ready to weaponize our boy's trauma for the cause. And Scarface Gavin is just now realizing the boss is playing a whole different, much scarier game. And we cut to some random happy-go-lucky squad. The tonal whiplash is giving me a damn headache. The chapter ends on a scenic train ride, like we didn't just go through a cult initiation. The train announcer is telling everyone to just chill for the next 2 hours, and to enjoy the ride, which is basically a giant red flag in this series. We cut to the knight's private car, where our boys are just trying to decompress. Our boy Ryuka is absolutely glowing, high on that "I'm not a broke loser anymore" energy. He's thinking about how he's finally made it, no more getting bullied. Famous last words. My man thinks he's unlocked easy mode, while Emo Knight just radiates pure judgment. Some lady shows up with free food for the nights, and Ryuka's inner freeloader is activated. He grabs the food, then immediately remembers he's broke as hell. The panic is real, but the nice lady tells him it's on the house, a special gift just for the nights. Our boy is amazed by the perks of the job, getting free shit just for existing. Braid Boy Jack drops some wisdom, saying they pay for this shit with something other than cash. And just as things are getting serious, someone's knocking on the door. Braid Boy Jack hits him with the "we pay with our lives" line and introduces himself as Jack Jack. Yes, really. Our boy Ryuka is just processing that his free lunch comes with a side of potential death. Jack explains that this is why people respect them. They're basically trading their lives for public approval. Ruka's response to this heavy talk is to just start inhaling his food. Priorities, man. Braid Boy Jack is just laughing, calling our boy an amusing pup for being so simple-minded. Emo Knight Kenneth finally chimes in, asking why the hell they're going to the west. Braid Boy Jack gets that "I'm about to drop some plot on you" look. He explains monster activity is up in the west, so they're being sent in as backup. Ruka is looking at a whole train car of knights, and Braid Boy explains they're mostly rookies. Our boy Ryuka turns to Emo Knight, looking like he's about to start some shit. Ruka calls out Emo Knight for being on a rookie mission, and Kenneth immediately gets defensive. And Braid Boy Jack exposes him, revealing Maid Commander sent him to babysit Ryuka, that Tsundere is caught. Ryuka is just giving him the deadpan stare, completely unimpressed by this whole act. Our boy turns to Braid Boy Jack, ready to ask the question that's been on everyone's mind. He asks if vowing to be a virgin actually counts, and Emo Knight literally spits out his drink. Braid Boy gets flustered while Ryuka flashes back to that creepy-ass doll from the ceremony. Jack laughs it off, telling Ryuka that his virginity isn't worth as much as a seasoned veteran's. Braid Boy gets real deep, explaining his vow has more value because he's actually had options. What a flex. Braid Boy Jack is explaining that the vows are only legit if you're giving up something you actually care about. He uses Maid Commander Fran as an example, reminding Ryuka she vowed to give up food for life. Jack explains that for her, food was more than just fuel, making it a real sacrifice. Our boy Ryuka is actually processing this, looking like he's thinking for the first time all week. And now he's stuck on Commander Arthur's vow, flashing back to her smug-ass face. Ryuka finally asks the question we've all been thinking: what's the deal with giving up your gender? Braid Boy Jack calls Commander Arthur a true princess, which only makes things more confusing. Emo Knight Kenneth drops the lore that the commander is always from the royal family, and we learn she only got the job because her half-brother, the old commander, kicked the bucket. We get a flashback of her as a full-on princess, confirming that vow was her giving up her entire identity. Our boy Ryuka is finally starting to understand the weight of these insane vows. He's realizing Commander Arthur gave up her entire identity just to get that power, and Emo Knight Kenneth immediately grabs his face to shut him up before he says something dumb. Kenneth is lecturing him about prying into people's personal trauma for gossip. Braid Boy Jack backs him up, saying people will share their baggage when they're ready. And just then, the door slides open and it looks like the plot is about to be served. Some train conductor dude bows, looking all formal and official. He's giving a speech while Kenneth is still physically restraining Ryuka in the background. The conductor introduces himself as Duga, and some new girl is handing out more free food. We get a close-up on the new girl, and she's already got that "I'm important to the plot" look. The new girl recognizes the conductor, Duga, and looks like she's just seen a damn ghost. Some new knight with a red face tattoo is already questioning this conductor's whole vibe. The new red mark knight is giving the conductor the death stare, sensing something is way off. The conductor suddenly does a full-on bow, and Braid Boy Jack immediately knows shit's about to hit the fan. Ruka and Emo Knight are just frozen, completely caught off guard by whatever the hell is happening. Braid Boy Jack goes full-on bodyguard, yeeting the two rookies out of the way just in time. Our boy Ryuka looks back to see the floor where he was standing is now a goddamn spike pit. And yeah, the conductor's bottom half is now a bunch of monster tentacles. So much for a peaceful train ride. The whole train car is a blood-soaked mess, and the conductor monster is just standing there like he owns the place. Ryuka's face is just pure, "My easy mode life lasted all of 5 minutes." And the conductor monster just turned the entire rookie squad into a goddamn night kebab. The new girl who was handing out food is on the floor, clutching her arm like she got clipped. And now she's screaming, her body mutating into some freaky blue monster. This train ride is cursed. The transformation is complete, and our boy Ryuka is already squaring up against the new monster. But of course, his first move is to ask the monster if it's okay. This dude's a special kind of dumb. Emo Knight Kenneth is in the background, looking like he's about to have an aneurysm over this idiot. Kenneth screams at him to stay back, because he's the only one here with a functioning brain. And Ryuka immediately gets grabbed from behind while he's busy being confused. He was caught lacking. The monster girl just impales another knight right in front of him, so much for a simple backup mission. Our boy is just frozen, covered in blood, as the monster's hand looms over him. The shock is real. Redmark Knight gets absolutely deleted by the monster girl, while Braid Boy Jack just watches in horror. Braid Boy Jack is losing his mind, realizing this girl is turning into a full-blown demon right in front of him. And yeah, the transformation is complete. She's now a lumpy blue monster with some very questionable fashion choices. The conductor monster Duga just casually confirms it, like this is a normal Tuesday on the express train to hell. This psycho introduces himself and name-drops his boss, Lord Tempest the Magus, so he's just a middle manager. Duga reveals his final form, threatening to personally send them all to their deaths. At least he's offering a guided tour. Our boys Ryuka and Emo Knight are finally processing that their first mission is a goddamn TPK in the making. Duga is still monologuing about guiding them, which is villain speak for I'm about to murder you all. Emo Knight Kenneth is having a flashback, realizing this is the same power that created the fiends from before. And he puts a name to the nightmare, the legendary Magus, a monster that looks like it crawled out of a horror movie. Emo Knight Kenneth is just staring, realizing they're fighting a legendary tier threat on a damn train. Our boy Ryuka is getting his arm absolutely mangled, but he's got that I'm too angry to die look on his face. The monster girl is about to deliver the final blow, while Ryuka is completely pinned down and helpless. The whole train car is a goddamn slaughterhouse with knights getting turned into monsters left and right. Emo Knight finally whips out a gun, ready to do some crowd control while Ryuka is getting folded. And his first target is Redmark Knight, who's been turned into one of the conductor's new minions. Emo Knight doesn't hesitate, putting his former comrade down with a clean headshot. Damn, that's cold. Ryuka and Braid Boy Jack are on the floor, watching their entire rookie squad get absolutely wiped out. Braid Boy Jack finally powers up, unleashing some golden energy like he's about to go Super Saiyan. And his big move is summoning a chibi fairy healer. This is not the power-up I was expecting. Braid Boy Jack tells his little fairy healer to get to work on our boy's mangled arm. The chibi fairy grabs Ryuka's arm, boasting that it can fix literally anything. We flash back to Ryuka getting his arm ripped clean off. Yeah, that's gonna need more than a band-aid. The fairy just glows, and the arm starts reattaching like it's nothing. What the hell is this thing? The fairy literally yeets his arm back on, calling it a useless pawn. Damn, even the healer is a hater. Our boy is just staring at his perfectly good hand, completely unable to process this instant regeneration. Ryuka's brain is still buffering, trying to understand how his arm just got a factory reset. The conductor monster Duga is impressed, calling this some next-level divine arts. This psycho is still monologuing, admitting the knights are skilled for a bunch of mortals. And then his head splits open, because of course this freak show wasn't weird enough already. The conductor monster is still talking shit, pointing out the wound on the now-turned Redmark Knight. Redmark Knight is now a full-on fiend, and Duga is loving the irony of them being killed by a former comrade. This psycho unleashes the newly turned knights on our boys. This is a certified shit show. Our boys are looking absolutely done with this whole situation, ready to throw hands. The three of them are now in a full-blown brawl against their former rookie squad. Braid Boy Jack is getting his ass handed to him, realizing these new fiends are way faster than before. Yeah, no shit they're faster. Redmark Knight got a full-on fiend power-up. The conductor monster is just chilling at the end of the car, taunting them while they fight for their lives. And he drops the hostage card, reminding them there are civilians on this murder train. Someone finally gets a grip, literally, stopping one of the fiend's attacks dead in its tracks. And it's our boy Ryuka, trying to reason with a monster by reminding it about its 401k and dental plan. The fiend is just screaming, completely immune to Ryuka's power of friendship bullshit. My man is still trying to talk no jutsu this thing, screaming at it to snap out of its funk. And someone just puts a knife through the fiend's eye socket. Well, that's one way to end a conversation. Ryuka is just frozen, realizing someone else made the hard call he couldn't. Braid Boy Jack drops the hard truth. Once you turn into a monster, you're not clocking out. He's giving Ryuka the "our job is to protect people" lecture, which is a little late for everyone else here. Jack calls him out, saying he should have learned this lesson back in the murder cave. He finishes the lesson by saying sometimes you gotta sacrifice your own comrades to win. Braid Boy Jack is basically telling him if he can't kill his friends, he's in the wrong line of work. Braid Boy Jack tells him to get the hell out if he can't handle the job. No room for hesitation here. Our boy Ryuka is just processing this, realizing his new gig has a murder your friends clause. Emo Knight gives him an out, telling him to go protect the civilians while they handle the dirty work. And right on cue, a little girl is about to get folded by one of the newly turned knights. Someone grabs her arm, and you just know this could go one of two ways. And it's our boy Ryuka finally taking the initiative and getting the civilians out of the line of fire. He's dragging this kid through the passenger car while everyone else is just chilling, completely oblivious. Ryuka starts screaming at the top of his lungs, trying to snap these people out of their peaceful train ride. My man is in full-blown evacuation mode, telling everyone to run to the back of the train. And the civilians are just staring at him like he's a lunatic. They have no idea what's coming. Our boy is trying to herd these civilians like cats, screaming at them to get the hell out of there. The whole passenger car is in a full-blown stampede to the back of the train. Ryuka is still yelling, trying to get these people to move faster before they all get folded. And of course, some people just freeze up, completely useless in a life-or-death situation. This poor mom is trying to drag her kids, who are having a full-blown meltdown at the worst possible time. And the door at the end of the car just explodes. So much for a clean getaway. That's the face of a woman who just realized her train ticket didn't include a survive the monster attack clause. And it's Red Mark Knight, now with 4 arms and looking ready to violate the Geneva Conventions. The family is about to become a chew toy and the kids are screaming their heads off. Ryuka finally steps up, powering up his demon hands to stop his former comrade from eating a family. Our boy Ryuka remembers his job description while staring down the monster about to eat a family. He finally stops hesitating and launches himself at the fiend, ready to throw down for the civilians. My man goes full demon mode, decking his former comrade with a massive energy-infused punch, and he follows it up with a giant energy slash that just rips through the entire train car. Ryuka's got that unhinged hero look, screaming that he won't let the civilians get hurt on his watch. The whole damn train car just explodes off the tracks. Talk about a bold strategy, Cotton. Braid Boy Jack and Emo Knight are just standing in the wreckage, trying to process what just happened. Emo Knight is completely losing his mind, unable to believe what he just saw. And yeah, he confirms our boy just unhooked the entire car, sending it flying with all the monsters. Ryuka is just falling with the wreckage, having pulled a classic I'll hold them off sacrifice play. Braid Boy Jack and Emo Knight are left in the bloody car while the conductor monster calls Ryuka a doggy. Our boy is going full demon eye mid-fall, and the conductor psycho is looking intrigued by the new toy. And there goes the train car, taking a nosedive off the bridge. So much for a scenic route. Ryuka is still playing bodyguard for the civilians, even as they're all plummeting to their doom. My man thinks he saved the civilians, completely ignoring the fact that he's in a metal death trap. The conductor monster is confused, saying his intel didn't mention a rookie with this much power. Ryuka summons a damn energy sword and tells the monster to shut his damn mouth. He's done with the exposition. Our boy is in full-on rage mode, promising to kill this psycho. The gloves are officially off. And the conductor monster just gives him a smug-ass smile, completely unbothered by the death threat. This psycho gives a fake apology, saying he prepared a special welcome party for them. Yeah, a massacre. The conductor monster Duga admits his plan wasn't perfect, but he's still got that smug I'm in control smirk. Our boy Ryuka is absolutely feral, ready to throw hands with this psycho for what he's done. Braid Boy Jack holds him back, telling him to chill the hell out before he gets himself killed. Jack points out the monster girl's corpse is moving, and this psycho is about to pull some necromancer bullshit. And yep, the monster girl's body is twitching back to life. This is getting deeply unsettling. The conductor monster turns this into a game, telling them to race through his new zombie horde to kill him. This psycho is just standing there, looking way too pleased with his murder train of fun. Braid Boy Jack confirms the whole squad is pissed and ready to throw down. And the conductor monster is just laughing it off, calling their rage terrifying like a condescending dick. But his inner monologue admits he's got to be smart or these kids might actually fold him. The conductor monster is reanimating the dead knights and they look even uglier the second time around. This psycho is still monologuing, confirming he's about to make them fight their zombified friends. And there's the confirmation. He's sicking the whole undead rookie squad on them. What a dick move. Braid Boy Jack is already in the mix, blocking a hit from one of his former zombie students. My man Braid Boy is finally getting serious, powering up his weapon to deal with the zombie horde. He's going on the offensive, leaping in to slice and dice his former comrades. No hesitation this time. And Emo Knight joins the party with a big-ass green energy blast from his gun. Emo Knight is just laying down covering fire with his magic gun, looking like he does this every Tuesday. But one of the monster tentacles snakes through the chaos and grabs someone. This is not going well. And of course, it's our boy Ryuka who gets grabbed because this dude just can't catch a break. Our boy Ryuka is finally done playing nice, going full demon mode to break free from the tentacle. And he just unleashes a massive blast of that pink energy, vaporizing the tentacle that was holding him. The conductor monster Duga is just looking on with that smug, oh dear face, completely unbothered. This psycho is just analyzing the situation, calling their desperate struggle a simple frontal assault. Braid Boy Jack goes for the kill shot, but Duga just stands there like he knows it's completely useless. My man Jack is screaming his head off, promising to take this psycho's head clean off his shoulders. And Duga's still got that smug-ass grin, like he's watching a toddler try to fight a brick wall. Braid Boy Jack's attack goes right through him as the psycho turns into a puddle of monster goo to dodge. The goo just reforms behind him, leaving Jack looking like a dumbass for missing so spectacularly. Now Braid Boy Jack is chasing this slippery bastard down the train car, looking absolutely desperate. Braid Boy Jack is still in hot pursuit, absolutely done with this monster's bullshit games. He gets to the end of the car, and the conductor monster has just completely vanished. My man is wondering if this psycho just straight up bailed on his own boss fight. But his brain is actually working, realizing there's no way that thing could have just disappeared. And you can see the gears turning as he realizes something is seriously wrong here. He starts checking the side rooms, following a blood trail like he's in a damn horror movie. My man is peeking around the corner, fully expecting a jump scare from this slippery bastard. And he finds a body. Looks like the conductor monster wasn't the only conductor on this train. This poor bastard got absolutely folded before the fight even started. What a way to go. Braid Boy Jack finally puts it together. The monster was an imposter. This was a setup from the start. Braid Boy Jack is checking on the real conductor, still trying to play the hero in this shit show. The conductor groans, and for a split second you think he might be alive. Spoiler, he's not. Jack tries to use his little fairy healer on the guy, completely falling for the oldest trick in the book. And that's the face of a man who just realized he walked right into a goddamn trap. Yep, the conductor monster was playing possum and just ran him through from behind. He got caught lacking. The psycho was just breathing, savoring the moment he completely outplayed the veteran knight. And there's the smug-ass grin of a villain who knows he just won this round. This dude goes absolutely feral, just screaming like a complete maniac. The mask is officially off. Braid Boy Jack gets absolutely yeeted across the room after getting stabbed. That's gotta hurt. The conductor monster is in a full goblin squat, calling them all gullible fools. He played them like a damn fiddle. Braid Boy Jack is looking absolutely feral, ready to get his lick back after being played for a fool. The conductor monster monologues about how knights are suckers for helping people, a lesson from his big brother. Some weird purple goo monster starts rising from the floor, and the clown monster is calling it Big Brother, and the Big Brother is a giant purple thing. Braid Boy is just watching this family reunion from the floor. The goo monster transforms into a new bald psycho with a red face tat, looking smug as hell. This new red mark psycho is just chilling with the clown monster on his shoulder, laughing at Braid Boy's L. Braid Boy Jack gets back up, bleeding everywhere, and vows to slaughter these two clowns. And the red mark psycho just shuts him up by absolutely deleting him with one clean slash. That's the face of a man who just realized he brought a knife to a goddamn nuke fight. The red mark psycho holds up Braid Boy's impaled body, calling him an idiot. Yeah, he definitely is. And we get a formal introduction to the Fiend brothers, Duga and Dolce. Great, a whole family of psychos. Braid Boy Jack is on the floor, finally realizing he got played by the old evil twin routine. The clown monster gleefully admits they yeeted the real conductor out the window. These guys are just assholes. Emo Knight Kenneth is hauling ass down the corridor, screaming for his boy Jack. He catches Braid Boy Jack just as he's about to collapse from the giant new hole in his chest. Emo Knight is absolutely losing his shit, ready to murder these two clowns for hurting his friend. The red mark psycho is just taunting them, saying how easy it is to outsmart a knight. These two psychos are just laughing, bragging about how they folded an officer-class knight with a simple trick. And a massive pink energy slash comes flying in because our boy Ryuka is done waiting his turn. The red mark psycho's eyes go wide, realizing he might have celebrated a little too damn early. The clown monster gets absolutely blasted by the pink slash, screaming like a baby while his brother just watches. My man is having a full-blown meltdown, looking like he just stubbed his toe on the corner of reality. Our boy Ryuka is powered up, calling out the psycho for thinking only officer-class knights are a threat. And he goes full shonen protagonist, vowing to take the psycho's head himself. The rookie is officially pissed, Ruka stands guard while Emo Knight desperately tries to keep Braid Boy Jack from bleeding out. Emo Knight is panicking, screaming for the little fairy healer to work her magic on the massive hole in Jack's chest. The chibi fairy pops up with a calm your tits, I'm working on it attitude. The sass is strong with this one. She unleashes a massive golden healing spell, trying to patch up Braid Boy before he kicks the bucket. But she explains the healing is slow because Braid Boy is knocked out cold. No easy fix this time. And the clown monster is already regenerating his arm into some new tentacle nightmare. That attack was just a flesh wound. The Red Mark Psycho is holding his clown brother like a ventriloquist dummy while talking shit. This psycho is sizing up his opponents, acting like he's impressed he has to fight 2 whole officers. And the clown monster has the most punchable, self-satisfied grin I've ever seen. The Red Mark Psycho just blasts through the roof of the train because doors are for chumps. He's inviting them to the roof to fight, basically asking them to come get their asses beat in the open. That's the smug-ass face of a villain who thinks he's already won. I hate it here. And just like that, the boss fight has officially moved to the roof of a moving train. Our boy Ryuka is still powered up and pissed, ready to take these 2 clowns on by himself. Ryuka tells Emo Knight to stay back and protect the others, basically saying, I got this. Emo Knight gives him the nod, trusting our boy to handle the 2 psychos while he plays medic. Our boy Ryuka asks the Fiend brothers what their deal is, still looking ready to throw hands. The Red Mark Psycho hits him with the classic, my job is to kill you villain monologue. This psycho confirms he's just a middle manager trying to stop them from reaching the West. Our boy Ryuka latches onto that, realizing their destination is the whole reason for this shit show. He asks what's so important about the West, and the psycho just tells him to mind his own business. The Fiend brothers stand at the mouth of a tunnel, ready to change the venue for this beatdown. And they just yeet themselves into the darkness, basically saying, come get some, bitch. Our boy Ryuka is just standing there, ready to follow these clowns into a dark-ass tunnel. What could go wrong? My man's first brilliant observation is that the murder tunnel is, in fact, dark. And of course, the tunnel immediately spits out a swarm of monster bats. It's a goddamn trap. Our boy Ryuka is just slicing through the bat swarm, finally figuring out this isn't a petting zoo. He's going full blender mode on these things, looking like he's actually enjoying the pest control. And there's that smug-ass grin, like he thinks he's got this whole situation under control. Nope, the swarm is endless. This tunnel is basically a monster bat clown car. His brain finally boots up, realizing he needs to find the summoner instead of fighting minions. And of course, he gets distracted and almost gets his face eaten. He was caught lacking again. But Emo Knight comes in with a massive green energy blast to save his dumb ass. Our boy looks back, completely shocked that he needed a babysitter for a simple bat problem. Emo Knight is on the roof, gun smoking, asking if he's all right. Yeah, he's just embarrassed. That's the face of a man who is contractually obligated to keep this idiot from dying. Emo Knight tells our boy he can't solo this, basically confirming he's on permanent babysitting duty. Ruka just gives him that smug watch me look, completely ignoring the backup he just got. The clown monster is doing some weird interpretive dance on the train, probably summoning more bullshit. And the Red Mark Psycho hits them with the classic, your journey ends here line. How original. This psycho's body starts to crumble away, looking like he's about to pull a final form out of his ass. And he unleashes a massive wave of blue energy trying to just delete our boy from the train. Ryuka's still got that smug-ass grin, completely unbothered by the light show, and Emo Knight gets his face grabbed from behind while he was distracted. He got caught lacking. The Red Mark Psycho just yeets Emo Knight across the train car. So much for the backup. That's the face of a man who just got folded while trying to save the main character's ass. The Red Mark Psycho is monologuing while choking out Emo Knight, but my boy Kenneth is playing possum. The Psycho is completely shook, asking how the hell Kenneth knew he was gonna get jumped. Emo Knight hits him with the, because we trust each other dumbass line, completely turning the tables. The clown monster is having a meltdown, realizing his big brother just walked into a trap. Kenneth confirms he put all his faith in our boy Ryuka, and it's about to pay off big time. We get a flashback to Ryuka telling him to hold the line, a classic I got a plan moment. And Kenneth trusted him, putting the whole mission on the rookie's shoulders. You love to see the character development. The Red Mark Psycho is finally realizing he got outplayed by the power of friendship. Emo Knight goes absolutely feral, screaming that Ryuka never lies, and his eye starts glowing with that same pink energy. And right on cue, our boy Ryuka comes flying in from behind, ready to cash that check Kenneth just wrote. The Red Mark Psycho is looking up, realizing he just got baited by the power of friendship. And our boy Ryuka comes flying in with a spinning kick that's about to rearrange this psycho's whole face. The kick connects, and this dude gets absolutely folded. That's what you get for monologuing. Ryuka's got him by the damn face, and the psycho is just stammering like his brain just blue-screened. My man hits him with the coldest line, asking how it feels to get packed up by a rookie. The red mark psycho's last words are a pathetic cry for his boss, Tempest. Yeah, he's not coming, dude. The train finally exits the murder tunnel, and the sun is shining on a job well done. And the psycho just disintegrates into a pile of monster goo. His eyeball even popped out. Ryuka's inner monologue is all angsty because he didn't get to take the psycho's head for Braid Boy Jack. He's hoping he'll be forgiven for not getting the kill shot. Bro, you just won. Chill out. The clown monster is still standing, pointing like he's got one last trick up his sleeve. He's just standing over his brother's gooey remains, and it looks like the fight is finally over. And just like his brother, the clown monster starts screaming and disintegrating into a pile of goo. Our boy Ryuka powers down, looking like he just ran a marathon and is questioning his life choices. And his eyes go wide, realizing the shit show isn't over, just because the villains are dead. He looks down the tracks and sees some lone figure just chilling in the middle of the desert. And this new character is riding some weird horse thing and carrying a hammer the size of a damn car. Emo Knight Kenneth is inside, screaming his head off that some idiot is standing on the tracks. My man Kenneth is literally hanging out the window trying to get a better look at this new problem. And he's got that, oh fuck, we're about to hit them look on his face. This day just keeps getting worse. Emo Knight recognizes the new muscle-bound lady on the tracks. This day just keeps getting weirder. And we get a name drop. 6th Branch Commander Bridget. So she's an ally, and she is absolutely jacked. She lifts her giant-ass crystal hammer, which is definitely not standard-issue equipment, and she just slams it into the ground because emergency brakes are for chumps. The hammer creates a goddamn ice wall that stops the train cold. What an absolute flex. Our boys Ryuka and Emo Knight are just staring, completely baffled by this new level of overkill. The train is stopped, and Commander Bridget is just standing there with her squad like she owns the place. Hammer Commander is now stomping through the train car, and our boys are just trying to stay out of her way. She's walking past the wounded, demanding someone give her something. This is getting weirdly intense. And she just slaps Braid Boy Jack awake. Best medical procedure I've ever seen. Braid Boy Jack is barely conscious, and Hammer Commander is already demanding a damn PowerPoint presentation. My man is still processing the new hole in his chest and trying to figure out what the hell is going on. Some new white braid knight is looking shook, while Hammer Commander is clearly losing her patience. And Braid Boy Jack finally recognizes someone, calling them Her Highness. The plot just got a lot more complicated. Braid Boy and White Braid Knight are bowing to some new princess while our boys are just standing there like idiots. And our boys Ryuka and Emo Knight just scream, "Big sis?" So Commander Arthur has a damn sister. The whole crew is now standing in the middle of the desert, having a very awkward family reunion. Braid Boy Jack is trying to explain the shit show to Hammer Commander, who looks completely unimpressed. Our boys are just watching from the sidelines, completely lost in this new royal family drama. Ryuka's brain is stuck on Jack's vow, wondering how he's going to explain this to his creepy doll. Hammer Commander is giving our boy the once-over, looking like she's not impressed by the new rookie. Braid Boy Jack is giving Hammer Commander the full rundown of the TPK they just survived. He's explaining how the entire rookie squad got turned into monster chow by those two psychos. And she immediately latches onto the name drop of the big boss, Demon Sorcerer Tempest. Our boy Ryuka is just standing there shirtless, looking like he's waiting to be sent to his room. Hammer Commander is processing all this new intel, and you can tell she's about to make a move. She immediately starts barking orders, telling her squad to call HQ and report the absolute disaster. Her boys are on it, also getting tasked with babysitting the civilians our boy yeeted off the bridge. She tells our 3 survivors to follow her, claiming she knows where the big bad is headed. And our boy Ryuka, ever the genius, asks if this legendary tier threat is, like, famous or something. Emo Knight Kenneth is about to drop a lore bomb, starting with the classic, "I'm no expert, but..." And the lore is that this Tempest Psycho is the OG who summoned the damn Demon King. We get a full shot of the big bad, looking like the final boss of a JRPG. Our boy Ryuka is just processing that he picked a fight with a legendary tier history lesson. Hammer Commander's plan is to hit up a sealed temple in the desert. This is a side quest, I feel it. She confirms the big bad is probably trying to mess with the Heavenly Demon Temple. And Ryuka's first brilliant question is to ask if these heavenly demons are just fairy tales. Emo Knight shuts that shit down immediately, confirming the fairy tales are very, very real. Hammer Commander explains that after they folded the Demon King, they chopped his body up. And those body parts became new monsters. So they're literally fighting the Demon King's leftovers. And we get a flashback to the OG monsters, starting with a lightning dragon. This is some final boss shit. Next up is a fire demon that just casually melts cities, standard Tuesday for these guys. Then there's a water demon that can just summon a whole ass flood. The elemental lineup is stacked. And the last one is an earth demon that just rips the planet in half. So, 4 flavors of apocalypse. Emo Knight explains the old school knights just sealed these things away because they couldn't kill them. And these temples are basically leaking evil, which is why the world is a monster-infested shithole. Hammer Commander drops the lore that this desert exists because the water demon sucked the whole place dry. Our boy and Emo Knight are just trying to process that they're standing on a demon-made wasteland. Hammer Commander is putting it all together, realizing the fiend maker they fought is part of this bigger mess. She confirms that since those 2 clowns name-dropped Tempest, they have to assume he's making a move. The lore drop continues, showing some fucked up demon DNA and confirming Tempest is a world-ending threat. Hammer Commander is realizing this psycho is about to mix 2 world-ending disasters together. She looks stressed. Braid Boy Jack, still looking like he got hit by a truck, asks if the big bad is already there. And yup, there's the psycho, T-posing in a swirl of evil energy like he owns the damn place. They're riding some weird desert fox sleds, which is a pretty sick way to travel to your potential death. Hammer Commander announces they're close to the temple, looking for the entrance in the middle of nowhere. And one of the desert foxes finds the entrance by screaming as the ground collapses under them. The whole damn sandboat is now plummeting into a giant sinkhole, so much for a grand entrance. Our crew is just falling into the abyss, looking completely unprepared for this sudden drop into the dungeon. And they're falling towards a giant, ominous red orb. That's definitely not the welcome center. Our boy Ryuka is staring at the giant red orb, getting a weird sense of deja vu from the ominous death ball. And his brain just hits him with a wave of cosmic nostalgia. This is definitely related to his memory-wiped vow. The red orb is reflected in his eye, and you just know his creepy god patron is about to send him a text. And right on cue, he starts hearing voices in his head. His sugar daddy god is checking in. Meanwhile, their sandboat is still taking a nosedive into the abyss. So much for a smooth ride. The whole damn crew is screaming their heads off, finally processing that this is not a guided tour. And they're about to make a grand entrance by crash landing directly on top of the ancient temple. Ryuka's brain finally catches up, realizing they've literally fallen into the boss room. Some random knight just casually hops onto a spire, showing off his parkour skills mid-disaster. And our boy Ryuka is just flailing through the air, screaming at him to stop like he's being left behind. And the first thing we see is a goddamn party popper. The tonal whiplash is real. The parkour knight is greeting someone like it's their birthday, not a dungeon crawl. And the big bad Tempest finally shows up, confirming those 2 clowns were just his puppets. Parkour Knight is still processing the puppet reveal, while Tempest just looms over him. Our boy Ryuka sees that creepy-ass smile and you know his brain is finally connecting the dots. And he finally puts a name to the nightmare, the demon sorcerer Tempest, looking smug as hell. That's the face of a man who just realized he crash-landed directly into the final boss's living room. And Tempest immediately chooses violence, launching a massive ice attack at the Parkour Knight. This psycho just snatches the Parkour Knight out of the air like he's grabbing a snack. But Hammer Commander is already making her move, ready to crash this psycho's welcome party. This psycho Tempest is just smiling, calling the knights barbaric like he's some bored old man. Hammer Commander lands, ready to go, and asks if he's the legendary trash bag they've been hearing about. She hits him with the "you're trespassing" line, trying to sound all official in a damn demon temple. Hammer Commander tells him to kindly get the hell out, and her face says it's not a request. And of course, this psycho just hits her with a hard no. The balls on this guy. Tempest starts his villain monologue about his experiments in front of a giant-ass blood moon. He's calling today a monumental day, which is villain speak for "I'm about to fuck shit up." The whole scene is just screaming final boss, and now it's starting to rain. The knights are sliding down the roof, and someone's brain finally boots up to realize it's raining in a desert. Hammer Commander is absolutely losing her mind, realizing this ain't just regular rain. The Psycho Tempest hits them with the "too late, I already did it" line with the smuggest face imaginable. And he name-drops the water demon, Lord Veeble. So that's the apocalypse flavor of the week. The whole damn temple starts rumbling as the rain pours down. The boss is making its grand entrance. Hammer Commander and her crew are looking absolutely horrified. They know they just walked into a world-ending L. Our boy Ryuka looks up and sees some new character appearing. This is not the giant water monster they were expecting. And the legendary water demon is a sleepy pink-haired lowly in bandages. This is not what the brochure promised. She looks completely over this whole situation, like she'd rather be taking a nap than ending the world. This Psycho Tempest is literally bowing to the demon lowly, greeting her like she's his damn queen. He's giving her a full-on apology for waking her up from her centuries-long nap. The simping is off the charts, and now he's kissing her hand like a damn fairy tale prince. This just went from a boss fight to something deeply weird. The Psycho Tempest is asking his new demon Loli to go exterminate the knights. He's a simp with a murder boner. And the demon Loli is just passed out, completely ignoring his dramatic-ass request. She is not impressed. The demon Loli is up, holding a creepy-ass bunny, and Tempest is still holding the parkour knight hostage. The whole crew is just staring, completely shook that the legendary water demon is a damn Loli. The demon Loli immediately shuts him down, pissed that he interrupted her nap. She's got that I'm the boss energy. And this Psycho Tempest is just smiling, completely unbothered that his world-ending weapon has an attitude problem. Our boy Ryuka is just watching, realizing the legendary demon is not the giant monster he was expecting. Hammer Commander tells her squad to stay sharp, sensing the insane demon energy coming off the Loli. Hammer Commander is getting real serious, realizing if this thing is fully unleashed, it's game over for everyone. And the demon Loli just stands there looking bored while confirming she's a literal walking apocalypse. What a mood. The demon Loli is looking right at our boy, acting all curious like he's a new toy. And Ryuka is just staring back, completely confused as to why the final boss is giving him the "do I know you" look. She just zips right past the Psycho Tempest and makes a beeline for our boy. She's on a mission, and she gets right up in his face and you can tell some weird-ass memory is getting triggered for her. The demon Loli just name-drops Acheron, looking way too damn happy to see someone she was just asked to kill. Our boy Ryuka is just sweating, completely lost because he has no idea who the hell Acheron is. She's grilling him about being in her territory, and this Psycho Tempest is trying to play it cool. The demon Loli is accusing him of being resurrected in a human body, and she looks way too excited about it. Ryuka's brain is still buffering, trying to figure out what the hell she's talking about, and his eyes go wide as the pieces start clicking. This might explain his whole damn identity crisis. The Psycho Tempest is monologuing from a tower, while the demon Loli just chills on another spire. This psycho reveals he knew about Ryuka's sugar daddy god, confirming our boy's power is literally a piece of some cosmic entity. Our boy Ryuka is just sweating, realizing this villain knows more about his own powers than he does. The demon Loli just yeets herself off the tower, choosing violence without even waiting for the monologue to finish. She's flying through the air like a damn missile, and you just know she's not aiming for the villain. The demon Loli calls our boy brother, and this family reunion just got a whole lot weirder. She's inviting him to play, which is demon speak for, "I'm about to try and kill you for fun." The demon Loli makes a beeline for our boy Ryuka, who is probably just trying to remember if he has a sister. She holds up the parkour knight hostage and tells our boy to catch. This is a fucked up game of hot potato. The demon Loli has the most unhinged smile as she yeets the hostage at him. Yeah, she's definitely family. Hammer Commander just intercepted the hostage, taking a spear through the arm like an absolute tank. Our boy Ryuka is screaming her name, completely losing his shit that a commander just took a hit for him. Hammer Commander is already pissed, yelling for Braid Boy Jack to get his ass in gear. Braid Boy Jack, still looking like death, summons his little fairy healer for some emergency first aid. The chibi fairy healer pops out with her usual, "I'm here to fix your dumb asses" energy. The fairy's magic is already patching up the commander's arm. This thing is a walking medkit. Hammer Commander immediately returns the favor by smashing the demon Loli with her giant-ass hammer. And she's completely shocked, probably because the demon Loli is about to tank that hit like a champ. The demon Loli pops out of the crater, telling her to stop playing with the B-team and fight her instead. Emo Knight finally joins the fight, dual-wielding his magic guns to provide some much-needed backup. The demon Loli just tanks Emo Knight's energy blast like it's a damn spitball. She's already over it, calling the entire Knight squad a nuisance. The disrespect is palpable. And now she's powering up, summoning a whole-ass ocean on top of the damn temple. The water forms into a giant orb because, of course, the final boss has a spirit bomb. She summons some creepy-ass water jellyfish with hammers to do her dirty work for her. Hammer Commander and her squad are now in a full-blown brawl with a bunch of angry armed jellyfish. The Psycho Tempest is watching through binoculars, getting way too hyped about this whole apocalypse. This dude set up a whole-ass fan club booth to watch his demon Loli crush his enemies. And he's got some cake-eating apprentice with him. This is the weirdest villain lair I've ever seen. The demon Loli is having the time of her life while Tempest gushes about his dream coming true. The Psycho Tempest is literally watching the apocalypse with binoculars, acting like he's at the damn opera. His inner monologue confirms our boy Ryuka is some kind of human-demon hybrid, a heavenly demon. This psycho and his cake-eating apprentice are already planning their next stop on their world-ending tour. But a massive light show interrupts his evil monologue. Someone's crashing the party. A giant-ass sword just materializes out of nowhere. That's one hell of an entrance. The Psycho Tempest is not impressed, calling the newcomer troublesome. He knows who this is. And some new red-haired lady is standing on the sword, pulling the most extra entrance I've ever seen. She's apologizing for her subordinate, which means one of our boys is about to get a lecture. This new red-haired boss lady is asking the Psycho if he's ready to throw down. The confidence is unreal. And the Psycho Tempest just gives her that same smug-ass look back. This is about to be a god-tier fight. Hammer Commander and her squad are getting absolutely washed by the Demon Loli's water attacks. And some new blue-haired muscle just teleports in, looking down on the red-haired boss lady. The red-haired boss asks her new boy, Kieran, if he can hold the line for 3 damn minutes. My man asks if she means against the legendary demon, looking way too confident for this shit show. The Psycho Tempest is trying to dip, telling his cake-eating apprentice he's got places to be. But the red-haired boss cuts him off, finally introducing herself to the world-ending trash bag. She whips out her own fancy-ass sword, getting ready to lay down the law on this psycho. She asks him to promise he'll stop being a dick, which is a bold-ass request to make. Tempest and his little apprentice just stand there, completely unbothered by the new challenger. And this psycho just hits her with a smug, "I'd rather not," complete with a heart. The disrespect is unreal. The red-haired boss lady immediately chooses violence, launching a massive slash at the psycho, and the Psycho Tempest just stands there, acting all surprised like he didn't just get a sword swung at his face. The two attacks collide in a massive light show, and red-haired boss is still looking smug as hell. And just like that, the two god-tier fighters just yeet themselves into the sky to have their boss battle. Meanwhile, blue-haired Muscle is looking down on some new white-haired knight, ready for his own fight. My man Kieran tells the white-haired kid to hold off the Demon Loli. Yeah, good luck with that, buddy. He clarifies the job is to stall the walking apocalypse for 3 minutes until the boss lady gets back. The two of them power up, with Kieran telling his partner to get his head in the damn game. And right on cue, the Demon Loli's murder jellyfish are coming in hot. The fight is on. Blue-haired Muscle is looking absolutely locked in, ready to hold the line against a literal god. The white-haired kid is already getting his ass kicked by the water attacks. This 3-minute stall is not looking good. Some new blonde braid knight steps up, looking like he's about to drop a massive support spell. And my man just unleashes a wide-range healing field. Okay, they brought a damn cleric to the raid. The white-haired kid is completely shook as his wounds just magically disappear. That's some premium healthcare. Blonde braid tells him to go all out because he's got passive regen now. It's go time, bitch. And the white-haired kid goes full power-up mode, ready to absolutely unload on these jellyfish. He unleashes a massive blast of blue energy, trying to just delete the entire water army. My man is looking completely stunned because of course it wasn't going to be that easy. The water just splits and reforms into more minions. You can't just punch an ocean, my guy. And our boy Ryuka is finally done watching, powering up his demon hand to get in on the action. Our boy Ryuka is trying to hold back the whole damn ocean with his pink energy. And he's completely shook that the water is just punching right through his attack. And Emo Knight comes in with the assist, laying down some green energy blasts. My man is back on babysitting duty, providing some much-needed cover fire. He tells our boy to chill out, reminding him he's been spamming his powers all day. And he drops a little Pokemon-type advantage knowledge on him. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. The gears in our boy's head finally start turning. He's got a plan. Meanwhile, blue-haired Muscle is powering up his giant-ass lightning spear. My man is going full Zeus mode, ready to smite these waterlogged bastards. And Hammer Commander joins the party, unleashing a massive ice attack of her own. Hammer Commander is screaming at her squad to go full Elsa on this lolly's ass. And she follows through, slamming her hammer down and creating a goddamn ice age on the temple roof. The Demon Loli gets flash frozen in a block of ice. You'd think that would be the end of it. But she's just chilling, calling them all annoying maggots. She's not even a little bit concerned. The Demon Loli decides playtime is over and is about to show them what a real apocalypse looks like. She summons a whole-ass ocean to her, getting ready to power up to her final form. She's just meditating in the middle of a water spirit bomb. This is not good for anyone. And she transforms into her true water demon form. The sleepy Loli is officially gone. Blue-haired Muscle is watching this, realizing they just pissed off a literal god. The real fight is starting now, and some new long-haired psycho with red tats just pops up. Great, another world-ending threat joins the party. The new red tat psycho is looking absolutely feral, and you just know he's about to make this whole situation worse. and he calls the water demon brother, asking him to chill out. So the loli was a dude this whole time? Red Tat Psycho is begging his brother to stop, but his eye is looking way too intense for a peaceful negotiation. My man is having a full-blown identity crisis, claiming he's a human knight now. Yeah, the red tats say otherwise. The water demon is just looking at him, completely confused by this sudden "I'm a good guy" speech. And then he just breaks out into the most unhinged, shit-eating grin. He is not buying the redemption arc. Red Tat Psycho is losing his shit, screaming at his brother not to look at him like he's still a monster. His eye starts glowing, and you can tell his inner demon is about to take the wheel. Our boys Ryuka and Emo Knight are just watching this family therapy session, completely lost. Red Tat Psycho is clutching his head, realizing his little brother is still a world-ending handful. Red Tat Psycho is freaking out, clutching his head like he's got a migraine. Emo Knight Kenneth checks on him, probably wondering if he's finally snapped. Red Tat Psycho is hearing voices, and it's not the good kind of schizophrenia. Creepy Doll is back, looking smug as hell while talking shit in Ryuka's head. Ryuka asks who TF is talking, and Creepy Doll hits him with the "I am you" bullshit. Creepy Doll is hyping Ryuka up, saying he can handle Water Demon Loli. Ryuka is going full demon eye, processing the voice in his head. Blue-haired Muscle Kieran is charging up for another attack. White-haired Knight unleashes a blue energy blast at the jellyfish. Emo Knight Kenneth is blasting the jellyfish with his magic guns. One of the Water Demon's little fish minions zaps Emo Knight with some weird energy, and Emo Knight gets trapped in a goddamn water bubble. My man can't catch a break. The Water Demon just decks Emo Knight right in the face while he's trapped. That's just disrespectful. And there goes Emo Knight, getting absolutely yeeted across the battlefield. So much for the backup. Hammer Commander is not having it, swinging her giant-ass ice hammer for the kill shot. She unleashes a massive ice wave, trying to turn this whole place into a damn freezer. And the Water Demon just catches her giant hammer with one hand like it's a damn toy. Hammer Commander is completely shook, realizing she just brought a popsicle to a nuke fight. The Water Demon starts charging up a counterattack, looking way too calm about this. And he just blasts her with a massive water cannon. Yeah, she's about to get folded. Hammer Commander gets absolutely yeeted, and her boy Blonde Braid is screaming like she's his damn princess. She just tells him to shut up and keep healing. This woman is an absolute tank. Blonde Braid locks in, ready to be the best damn heal bot this side of the apocalypse. Meanwhile, Red Tat Psycho is going full-on feral, his inner demon about to take the wheel. My man is having a complete meltdown, screaming that his head is about to explode. The redemption arc is failing. He's losing control of his power, which is now a pretty pink bomb he can't defuse. He's still clutching his head while his little water demon brother just floats there watching the show. And the water demon just flies right at him, deciding to interrupt this therapy session with violence. Red Tat Psycho is completely shook, realizing his brother is about to pack him up mid-meltdown. And the water demon has the smuggest, shit-eating grin. He is absolutely here for the family drama. The water demon's hand is glowing, ready to end this family therapy session with a bang. Red Tat Psycho is about to go nuclear, with a whole-ass spirit bomb forming in his chest. That's the face of a man whose inner demon just took the driver's seat and is about to crash. And our boy Ryuka gets absolutely swatted out of the air like a damn fly. Blonde Braid realizes his passive healing ain't gonna cut it for a full-blown demonic meltdown, so he just yeets his little fairy healer at the problem like a goddamn holy hand grenade. The fairy slams into Red Tat Psycho with a max output heal, trying to stop the explosion. Red Tat Psycho is groaning as the holy light tries to exorcise his inner demons. The water demon is just watching this whole light show, completely unimpressed with the effort. He's got that "are you done yet?" look, like he's just waiting for his turn to play. The water demon is just roasting his brother, telling him his redemption arc made him weak as hell. And Creepy Doll is back in Ryuka's head, basically saying, "Tag me in, coach." Our boy's eye is glowing, confirming he's getting a direct call from his demonic sponsor. Red Tat Psycho is still fighting his inner demon, which is telling him to just give up and go feral. He's screaming back at the voice in his head, trying to reject his old psycho self. My man is having a full-blown identity crisis, denying he's one of the legendary demons. Meanwhile, the red-haired boss is still dodging attacks from the Psycho Tempest in their sky battle. The Psycho Tempest is taunting her, asking if she's ready to tap out yet. This psycho is pissed his minions got folded, and now he's about to get his lick back personally. And he powers up, getting ready to drop a big-ass attack on the red-haired boss. The Psycho Tempest just got his leg clean sliced off by the red-haired boss. He doesn't even look bothered. And there go his legs, just tumbling through the sky. That's one hell of a first move. This psycho is actually impressed, calling her terrifying for taking his leg without him even flinching. Red-haired boss confirms she's here to stop his whole world-ending tour before it even starts. And this psycho just smiles, finally realizing he's found someone who's actually trying to kill him. Red-haired boss is on the clock, realizing she can't waste time with this clown while her team is getting folded. She's got that look of pure focus, knowing she has to wrap this up fast. Her eye is glowing with pure, I'm about to end this man's whole career energy. The psycho hits her with the classic villain choice, save your friends or chase the bad guy. And she just hits him with the why not both answer, looking absolutely unhinged. She chose violence, and red-haired boss just unleashes a whole-ass gate of Babylon on this psycho. The attack is called Morrigan's Reign of Judgment, and it's turning this dude into ground beef. Yeah, she literally diced him. The final boss just got turned into a damn salad. And this psycho's disembodied head is just casually complaining about how long it'll take to regenerate. He's congratulating her on buying time for her friends. The audacity on this dismembered clown. And he just self-destructs, basically rage-quitting the fight to go respawn somewhere else. Red-haired boss is looking down, knowing she just won the battle, but definitely not the war. She's just floating in front of a blood moon, looking like the baddest bitch in the universe. And she's rocketing back down to the temple. Time's up, and she's here to clean house. That's the face of a woman who just folded a god and is ready for round 2 with his pet. The narrator confirms red-haired boss was gone for less than 3 minutes. She really speed-ran that boss fight. And that's the face of a commander who just got back to find her entire squad got wiped. She's flying back to the temple, expecting a fight, not a goddamn graveyard. And there's Hammer Commander, down for the count. The water demon folded the team's main tank. Yeah, it's a full-blown TPK. The whole squad got absolutely washed in under 3 minutes. And the only one left standing is one of the legendary demons. This is not good. The water demon is just standing there, having soloed the entire raid party while the boss was away.